Sweet. Looks like we're on. I at least hope we're on. This is a whole new system. What's up,
Perfect.
everybody? It's Dave Drakes with the Collective Experience. We are back for another TCE Live Supercross Watch Party, the first one of 2024. We're stoked. It's A1. And of course, I had to bring some badass guests on. I think the guy in the middle, you guys have probably seen a couple times. I'm hoping at least you remember his face. Mr. Intern Alumni, Mr. Moto Academy's #1 videographer, and that's going to be Grant Eckardt. What's up, Grant?
How's it going, guys? How are you, Dave?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, and I'm really hoping that this thing is uploading to YouTube right now. So please pray for us.
Fingers crossed.
Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and do one thing on this one just to make sure, just to double check and make sure we're good. Okay, I think we're solid. Sweet. Okay, good. And of course, I've been trying to get this guy on for years. He even said it when he came on first. I'm sure you guys have seen some of his content on Instagram through socials. He was featured on Racer X before anyone that I know. So he's like lightweight famous. We'll never admit it. It's the Jersey Master, the memorabilia king. It is Josh Gagnon. What's up, dude?
Thanks for having me on, Dave. I know it's been about like 2 years in the making, so
it really has.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man.
No, I'm super stoked, man. It's been a long time coming, so we definitely we definitely need to get you on. So we're A1 boys. This is the first go around for 2024. A1 always tons of hype. The new tracks that we've got coming on this year. Obviously, A1's the same, but we've got some new riders bumping up from the 250 to the 450. We've got new bikes. We've got team changes. We've got new rivalries. We've got lots and lots of money.
We got new teams.
What's that?
New teams, new bikes.
Yeah, new teams, new bikes. I'm stoked about it. I know everybody else is. I'm going to start with you, Josh. What is like your favorite thing about A1? Like, what's the one thing that gets you amped up every time A1 comes around?
Yeah, man. So I was lucky enough to go not 2023, but 2022. We went, and it was the first time I've ever been. And like the riders talk about jitters and stuff, which makes sense, right? It's the first race of the season, but like I've never been a fan going to a race having jitters. Like, dude, I was like this. It was, if you're into the sport, you have to go to A1 at least once. So like everything you just listed off that is new for the year, it's all of it is tied for my favorite part.
100%, dude. There's just nothing like a season kickoff when you see the fresh gear, fresh teams, fresh riders. Usually nobody's hurt this year. Pretty light roster for people on the mend right now. Grant, same question for you, dude. Like, what's the one thing about A1 that gets you amped?
It's the unknown. Like you haven't seen bikes on the track in a couple months. And it's like everyone feels like they got a fresh start. Like everyone's kind of ignorant, or like they don't know. You're not showing up to the race like, oh, Jet's gonna win. Like everyone has that mindset of like, this is my year, like I'm gonna win. And it's always cool to see who put in the work, like who got speed over the off season. And then plus on top of that, like guys are on new teams, new bikes, like so people have like a new fresh look, and see all that like come together for the first round.
I agree. I definitely agree. So we've got some good stuff coming in the 250 class. I want to start with that one. What are some of the biggest headlines that you guys are kind of anxious to see play out for the 250 class? We'll start with you, Grant.
I'm curious to see. I'm really excited to see how Levi does. I called him to have like a pretty good season, and then he was top of the board in qualifying. So that's my main kind of thing I have an eye on. And then just the, everyone else who switched teams. It's just cool to see what worked and what didn't, and just who had a good off season and who didn't. But I think Levi Kitchen's gonna have a good night.
I think so too, man. I'm excited. The one thing that makes me nervous about Kitchen is that PC bike. And I feel like that's like blasphemy right now for like me and Josh, who grew up in that PC era, where like they were the bikes. Like if you weren't on PC in like the like early mid 2000s, you weren't winning a title. Like I think Geico kind of gave them like a little bit of a hard time sometimes, but you weren't winning if you weren't on PC. That's different now, dude. It's all the Yamis. Like if you're not on Star, fat chance. Like, do you think that that makes that big of a difference, Josh? Do you think that the fact that Kitchen and some of the other guys like Forkner and McAdoo, do you think the fact that they're not on that Star bike that it's really going to hinder their championship hopes?
I don't. I think maybe for starts, that's probably where it makes the biggest difference. Just coming out of that off the gate, just it pulls. But I think when they're dialed, which clearly, I mean, it's just practice, but it looks like Levi's dialed in on that bike right now.
Yeah.
The start matters, but if you could start top 5, especially, I feel like this class is like the West is kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing I didn't understand was why Star has 2 bikes on the West and like 43 bikes on the East. I don't get it. I mean, maybe some secret injuries that we don't know about. I've been reading some rumors that Deegan's hurt. Maybe that's something going on there that we don't really know about. But no, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think as long as Levi and even Max, man, he looked pretty good too. I think if they can get top 5 starts, they can do some damage.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one. I'm pretty excited to see. I can't make a prediction for the 250 class. I'll be honest with you. I've got no idea. I was gonna say like maybe like a Joe or somebody, but dude, like Kitchen's super fast. You know what I mean? Like all the other Star dudes are fast, and you name it, dude. The KTM boys, the Gas boys. Like, I really have zero like picks when it comes to the lights guys. I don't know what's going to shake out. I'm hoping it's something cool, but we'll see. We have a gate drop coming up here pretty soon. Guys, the track, it looks pretty unique, pretty cool for a A1. We got some big jumps, some really cool rhythm sections. How's it look in your mind as we see our boy Josh Greco get some TV time? What are you thinking, Grant? Like, how's this track line up to you?
Well, I think I'm a little bit ahead of you. I got the race going on in front of me, and
I do too.
It is.
I'm in Texas, whatever, dude. You know, that's part of the fun. It's gonna lag a little bit.
It looks fun right now. It looks mint. They got it obviously perfectly smooth, and I thought it was going to be a little bit muddy because obviously they've had a ton of rain there, but it literally looks perfect right now. And
okay, we got the gauge up on mine, so that's
okay. Nice. Yeah, and the whoops look gnarly. Like that's going to be. I think if whoever figures out the whoops tonight will be in good shape.
So that's been the case the last maybe 2 to 3 years when it comes to Anaheim. I feel like the whoops are always a huge factor. They've been absolutely enormous the last couple of seasons at the first round.
Yeah, Dave, do you want me to spoil stuff or no?
Try not to. Well, Joe.
Okay, yeah, that's
okay. So that's part of the fun with ours, at least, since everyone's all over the different parts of the country. So we're just like, it's one of the fun parts about the stream is that like we'll start seeing different things and different people see different things. It's kind of fun that way. Is Jarvis trying to hop on here?
I was watching Joe in qualifying, and like the Hondas look light. They look like they're able to throw them around, but it didn't look like really solid underneath them. All practice, and he just, I don't know if you saw the replay yet, but he just kind of like lost the coming up into that corner, and I don't know, he doesn't look super comfortable on this bike.
Who's that, Joe?
Yeah,
those Hondas take some time to dial in. One thing that I always question is like, are the Honda boys allowed to make the changes they need to make to feel confident and comfortable on the bikes? Because we saw Kenny made the switch, obviously. Chase made the switch, and people are like, dude, why would you ever want to go away from factory Honda? But it doesn't seem like they're able to really get that thing to handle the way they want it to. What are your
Yeah, they
thoughts on that one?
all seem like they have their issues with it, with finding something comfortable.
Yeah. And I can't figure out why for the life of me. Honestly, it's like a whole different world, I guess, when you're in front of all those people racing on the Hondas. Let's see, we've got Smith out front with Mumford in second. We got Hampshire, Thrasher, Thompson, Yoder, Varese, Bourdon. I don't know who that is, and Stapleton. Is that Dennis Stapleton? That'd be super cool for an older guy to be up there. Can you guys see Billy Laninovich is
I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, Billy, man,
he's right on the
so
bubble.
cool.
Yeah. How rad is that? That he's from our era, Josh.
I know, dude. Like, I would love to see him be a consistent main event guy.
That'd be super dope. Like, he used to be what, top 3, top 4 back in the day?
Yeah. Like inside, yes. Outside, I feel like anything top 20 in the lights class, is all factory. So he's definitely top 20 back in the day. But yeah, dude rips. I don't know anyone that can throw gnarlier whip than him, man.
The only person I can think of in the same breath is like Hansen or like Stu.
Okay, Hanny, yeah.
That's
right.
Those guys are outrageous. I can't.
He's looks like he's got the lap times to be kind of right in there. His best is so far as a 106, and guys right around him are like a 104 through 106. So he could make it.
It could happen. It could happen. Shout out if you guys are just now tuning in. Welcome to the TCE Live Supercross Watch Party for A1. We got my main man, Grant Eckardt, on here from the Moto Academy, and of course, the Jersey memorabilia master, Mr. Josh Gagnon. All of us are from New England, so we are a little bit better than you guys. Super elitist on this show with New England love. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to submit your questions. I've got a bunch of people that are supposed to hop on later today, some pro riders. Of course, we're gonna be doing some cool giveaways. We want to hear from you guys in the chat, so be sure, if you're watching this on YouTube, to go over to the chat, ask your questions, bring up some topics you want us to talk about, some things you want us to highlight. If you're seeing some things during the race that we're not talking about or seeing, let us know. Yell at us. Shout out to Jer, and shout out to your wife, Ricky, a huge supporter of the program. Those guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys always giving us support, saying nice things in the DMs on the Moto Academy app. Shout out to them. We also want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, FXR Moto. Those guys have been so huge and so good to us over the past handful of seasons. Great group over there, guys. And if you're looking to save on some dope gear, the gear that fits your boy and that your boy loves, check out our promo codes below in the description of this video. We've got some cool promo codes for you guys to save some cash. FXR Moto, Flow Vision Goggles, Speed and Sport, Overshare Advice and Planning, Evans Power Coolant, EVS, and of course the Moto Academy, and so many others. We thank all of our sponsors for all of their support. Guys, I got to do a huge shout out too for this race. I'm really stoked with how Mumford's riding. I'm not super stoked in his line choice and some of his timing choices when it comes to some of the rhythms, but I really love how aggressive and comfortable he looks on that bike. I will be honest. Oh, who was that?
Looked like Albright, maybe.
Oh, Stapleton.
Stapleton.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Sorry.
That was scary. Holy crap. Ooh, dude. Hampshire is getting close to Smith. I didn't realize Smith was on a Yamaha.
Yeah, he was there last year too.
God dang, dude. How many riders do these guys have?
Like I told you, 43 of them.
Dude, it's literally like a basketball team, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like Star Racing soccer team out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Shout out to Mike McSwain. What's going on, Mike? Thanks for tuning in. There she is, finally.
I was in here for a couple minutes and it just was not working at all. And I don't know why.
You didn't want to talk. You're just skulking around the corner, just being creepy.
No, I did talk for a minute and it didn't sound like you guys heard me. So I was restarting everything.
Oh, geez. Yeah, just, it's just so popular. She just texting Fox, trying to get some more gear and whatnot, just just pro shit,
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, just wait.
So
I'm gonna give you a little insider information right here. keep an eye on
Mhm.
like Instagram and stuff like that for a big announcement coming this week.
From you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you getting a speed suit?
No, that is the goofiest thing I've ever seen.
Wait. So when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of unique." Until I thought about my round ass getting in one. JJ, could you imagine these hips and thighs inside of one of those speed suits?
Well, could you imagine a female trying to use one of those things?
I'd rather
You gotta
picture that
practically
than
take
me
off
with
your
my
whole
love
gear.
handles and my freaking my twerker's booty trying to flop around that thing, dude. I'm gonna be
You gotta
turning.
have to
If
take
I
off
were one of
the
those,
whole
I'm turning
set of gear.
heads at the track, dude. I'm walking through the pits and getting everybody amped up. Oh man, I'm gonna start shaking on the gate.
Oh,
Dave's gonna get the
God.
whole shot because he's up there distracting everybody.
Exactly. Oh gosh. For those who are watching who don't know, I'm really angry if you don't know, but we're joined by one of my favorite racers in the entire world, probably the fastest female of all time, even though she'll never admit it. It's the one and only Jordan Jarvis. How are you, Jordan?
I'm doing good.
I missed you.
I miss you too. It's been a bit.
It's too long because you don't want to come visit me. So,
That is not true. Busy schedule.
yeah, okay, that's it. Just busy being pro, whatever,
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, so Jordan, we got to give your boy some props because Grant got hired full time with the Moto Academy.
Big collab coming next week, Dave. Big collab between the Moto Academy and somebody in the call right now coming next week.
Okay, I like that, dude. I like that.
I think, right, Jordan?
You're gonna have to repeat that.
Oh,
dude, Jordan's got like that hand crank Wi-Fi, dude.
Yeah.
Tell your dad to run faster on the hamster wheel so we can get some good Wi-Fi going.
All I heard was T-Mobile. Yeah, T-Mobile, and then she.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. Keep an eye out on the Moto Academy socials and YouTube's coming up. I think we got a trip down to Florida, and I think we're going to the track with JJ for a day. So it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Jer is in the chat saying that it's going to be tough to tell who's who with all these bike changes and team shifts and whatnot. So I can't say I disagree with them because I'm already confused.
Number changes get me every year too,
dude. That is the whole deal.
It's
what's
like
funny though is.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what's funny is like I'm a big like fan of the old numbering system where you get the number based on your previous years. Yet here I am complaining about number changes for this season. So I don't know.
Dude,
yeah,
Josh, the whole night we're just gonna sound like old men. Like back in my day,
I know, right?
There were 2 strokes and carburetors. You know who was president?
I liked it better when. Oh god, no, I liked it better when you had the guys would get a number and it would be like their permanent number because you knew who was who. But yeah, now I've got like timing and scoring up, and like I'll see a name and I'll like think it's his number from last year, and then I'm watching him on the TV and it's like this isn't even the same guy because it's a different number, and I'm all confused.
That's funny. Shout out to Leatherman. Shout out to one of my favorite people also. It's Grant's mom. Jessica is on the chat. How are you? We love you. We miss you. Dude, at this point, Grant, your parents should just adopt me, dude. I talk to your dad more than I talk to my own dad. Honestly, it's like I know he wants a full-grown black son, you know? Who doesn't? It's a good text right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Looks like your boy got 11th in that heat though, Josh.
Yeah, that's all right. He's got another race.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see it.
And I mean, if mathematically, 10th, 11th, 10th, 11th, that's 4.
I like that.
His lap times are there.
That makes sense. You also have to take into the factor that everybody is riding like an absolute madman in the LCQ. So there's that element of what the heck. So just a heads up.
Yeah.
I know
He
we're
could
all
pull an
aware.
AJ and just smoke him.
What's that?
I said he could pull an AJ and just smoke him too.
could be.
Or pull the AJ from a couple years ago where he just sits in the back because he's scared. Could go one of two ways.
Because he's scared. Dude, that kid does not like gate drops. Yeah,
Not
I
at
don't know
all.
what it is. That guy is afraid of a gate drop.
Tough to be a pro racer and not like gate drops though.
Maybe that's why I'm not pro. I hate gate drops too.
Really, that was my favorite part.
No, dude, I hated it. My favorite part was like when the race was over. I love Moto, but for some reason I hate racing Moto.
Really?
I love racing Moto, but I also hate it at the same time. Okay, gate drop for me. I know you guys are probably like 3 minutes ahead of me.
My race is already over.
Dude, he's on 450s. I'm really excited to see how Bo Mayer does. we talked about him on the Moto Academy podcast. It was myself, Manny, and AJ, and they were saying how fast this kid is. And look at that. He grabbed the whole shot, and he's now leading his very first pro race. This is his first swore way into the pro ranks. So I'm excited to see how he does. I'm hearing like phenomenal things about this kid. What are both of you guys hearing?
I don't think they would have jumped him up this fast if he wasn't legit.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, I mean, think about that KTM team and like the riders that they've had and the success that they've had. Like if he wasn't ready, they wouldn't have moved him up. But like last year in the futures, I mean, he was almost better than Hayden Deegan most times they raced. So it's like that just shows the level that he's at and the potential that he has.
It seemed like it came for him like that too, because because he was like what, fourth, fifth, the first couple. That's what and then like all of a sudden he's battling Dax for the win, and it's like, wait, what? Where? How did this happen? So I feel like sometimes these guys something clicks in their that next level.
Look at this, dude. Bolin is a completely different rider, huh? Dude's out front.
Yeah, my fantasy picks are gonna be terrible.
Dude, I for some reason my account like locked me out. I couldn't put my fantasy picks in.
What's your preferred website?
Pulp.
Yeah, me too, and I can't even do it in New York.
I can't in Mass either.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't in Mass either.
Seriously?
Yep. Great state of New York. It's awesome.
Dude, do a
VPN.
What's that called? VPN, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try that.
Sheesh. I hear either a robot or Jordan trying to come back in. JJ, you sound like an absolute robot. She's doing her best Stephen Hawking impression.
Dang, Beaumaire is smooth.
Yeah, dude. He looks solid. So, like, how old is this kid?
And then he just almost killed himself 3 times in the whoops.
Or is he like 19, 20, 21? Do we know?
I think he's 17 or 17 or 18. I'm pretty
18, sure. Yeah, something.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Like he's not like borderline can't turn pro yet, but he's also not like Levi when he turned pro at like 21 type of thing. It's like in that sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah, because people were talking about the age-old question of are people moving up too fast now, and I'm gonna have to say, yeah. Sometimes I think they are.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough to answer that.
Yeah, it's like there's no reason to rush it, but at the same time, if you get to a certain level to where you're winning everything in amateurs and you're not going to get any faster racing slower people, so it's kind of a tough call sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah. No, most definitely.
I just want to. I don't know if I'm allowed to with who's joining, but shout out to my boy Garrett Marchbanks, as I've been calling him lately, Troll Train Marchbanks, with the 26 on the club.
Dude, yeah, it kind of looks like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different riding statures, though. I think he's a good couple feet taller than Troll Train.
Oh yeah, just a little taller.
Those bikes look solid, though.
I keep telling him, like, do a full white kit, because it would look nasty.
I think so too. That would be mean. Oh, dude, Volan is looking solid.
Do I still sound like a robot?
No robot.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. What'd you have to do? Steal the neighbor's Wi-Fi?
I'm gonna have to. Nothing reaches where I'm at. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm using a T-Mobile hotspot.
Oh, that's not even a hotspot. It's like the worst hotspot you could possibly get. It's like
it's the only thing that reaches back here.
The only thing to go like farther down is like Cricket Wireless or something. Like
I blame you, Dave. My Wi-Fi's been working good all day today.
it's just me. I'm the bad luck charm.
Yep.
Okay. So JJ, we're talking about some of the 250 guys and how they're looking pretty solid. Volan, completely different rider. Did you think that he would come out swinging like this when you heard he first made the switch to PC?
I mean, I think a bike change is good for everybody every now and then once you hit a certain point. And I think Volan was just not in a very good spot with that team anymore. I don't know if it was last year or the year prior, but missing some of those mains, I think definitely hurt. But I think it definitely hurt the relationship that Volan had with DaCosta or whoever he was dealing with. So I think the bike change is obviously doing very well for him right now, and I feel like it suits his style more.
Okay.
I know KTM's personally. I don't feel KTM's turn very well. I feel like you need to make 5 turns in one to really feel like you're turning, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Cowie's turned very well. But I also hate to say this, but give him a couple races. Let's see if he falls back into old habits.
Okay.
Because he didn't look very good in practice either.
Gotcha.
He didn't look bad, but let's see when the track breaks down. Let's see how he does.
Okay, gotcha. JJ's not impressed, so
No, I am. I am, but I'm a skeptic.
Oh, it's not me out there, but I would show him a thing or two.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, but he's normally also going through the pack too. You've got riders who struggle to make passes. I think they were talking about Kitchen was saying it earlier. He struggles to make passes, but when he starts out front, he's hard to beat. And I feel like Max is another one of those people. He's been out front this whole race, so he's had a clear track.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're seeing him kind of ride differently. If he started farther back, I think we'd see a little bit more of old Volan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did you guys see Garrett try to slam Beaumare at the last corner there?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that's a little nuts. The track looks actually pretty solid for an A1. I normally don't like A1 tracks. This one looks like fun.
It does.
I don't know if it's just me or not, but JJ, I could ask you this question, but we have a lot of guys. But we do have some guys that are making their transition into the 250 or their pro ranks. Maybe not as many as are making the switch to 450, but you've made this transition kind of recently into the pro ranks. Like, what do you think is going through their mind right now as they're like lining up A1 first pro race, knowing they've watched the big guys go at it their whole life, and now it's like their turn? What do you think they're feeling right now on the gate and while they're racing?
They're definitely excited. It's a very surreal feeling, riding in a stadium under the lights, especially if they make it into the night show. You know, you're in front of a crowd, which might be a first for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, they've done away with Monster Cup now, so you really don't kind of get that experience. I feel like a lot of people that moved up in the last couple of years before the futures under the lights were kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, I know you were at some of the races when I was racing futures. That was on like a Sunday or something afterwards, or maybe the day before or something like that. When, you know, we did get to ride the same track, but we didn't get the feeling of being, you know, the crowd yelling and just the race day feeling, I guess. So it's definitely a really surreal feeling. It's not something you can replicate unless, you know, you're in one of these situations. So they're definitely excited, very nervous, you know, they make it into the night show. They want to make it in, or they just want to ride good, but it's a whole different feeling going from qualifying or practice into heat races and stuff like that. You can train for it as much as you want, but to replicate their race pace is ridiculous. They are going so much faster that they look like they're going on TV.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like once you're there, like on the gate, and like you can see, like, you know, the smells, the sounds, like all these dissed up bikes. I think obviously I'm not pro like you and Grant. Maybe one day. Um, I'd definitely be throwing up if I was out there. But I almost equate it to like when I did like my first Loretta's qualifier, and I'm like, normally I'm used to hearing like maybe one or two bikes that are like really loud next to me. Everybody had a mod bike and they were just revving the piss out of their bikes. And I was like, I am not used to how any of this sounds, especially on my 3-year-old bone stock Cowie. So like that mixed with the nerves, mixed with the faster guys, I could only imagine when it's under the lights. You have, you know, the pyrotechnics going off, the fans are screaming, there's monster girls walking by and distracting you. It's a whole thing. Absolutely a whole thing. Which, by the way, if I was ever pro, I've said it a million times, dude, if I was ever pro on the podium, I would be acting up, dude. I would be acting a fool. I would be like, these girls smell wonderful. I don't know what that camera's there for. Like, I'd be touching other people's bikes. I'd be shaking hands, kissing babies.
It is a really cool feeling. It's one you couldn't pay enough money to experience.
Yeah, I would love that feeling.
I think it was my first year at Monster Cup. I absolutely was not prepared. I mean, I didn't do bad. I did all the jumps for the most part, except for the finish line double. This was the year that Monster Cup was all the way on the top of the stadium in Sam Boyd.
Yeah.
The finish line was massive that year, and I was 5'7" and 145 pounds on a super mini, so I was a big kid.
Ooh.
And I didn't do that jump at all. And then it got down to the first moto, and I fell in the start, so I was all the way in the back. Second moto, fell off the start again, just banging bars with people, and I ended up getting the bad end of it. But I was so far behind that I was the last person on the track. So everybody was watching me. So as I'm coming across the side of the stadium, which at that year was just sand rollers, the announcers are talking about me, and everybody can, you know, they're talking about me being a girl and everything like that. Yeah. So the crowd's just going absolutely nuts. I hit the big finish line, or the big triple before the finish line, and then I send the finish line catapult, and it just went wild. And I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" It's like, what's happening? It was really, really cool, and I don't think I'm ever going to feel that same way again, just because of how it feels in the stadiums and that kind of stuff. The crowds at Supercrosses are insane.
I'd love that. I think I had my dad cheer for me once, but that's about all. My grandma showed up and gave me a thumbs up, so that was nice. That's hilarious. You know, one thing that I think all of us on the call can kind of attest to is once you're there at the stadium, you kind of realize how different it is from TV. Like you almost the track itself is just, it's so challenging compared to tracks that we might be accustomed to, where there's some flowier sections. You've got kind of a wide berth in the lanes. You've got some time to kind of, like, you know, shake off the arm pump with some straightaways. Supercross, you don't really have any of that. There's some tracks where there's just no flowy sections. There's no chance to rest your arms. There's the ruts everywhere, and the track's kind of chunked up and chewed, and the fact that these guys and girls are going so fast around the track is it's absolutely insane to me. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could hack it, to be honest with you. JJ, we didn't.
I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I can tell you without a doubt, their heart rates are 170, 175 plus the entire race.
Yeah.
The entire race.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be throwing up Krispy Kremes if that was me, man. But yeah, JJ, which team switch, which rider, what new headline are you most excited to see unfold for A1, 250 or 450? Like, what's the one thing that you're like, okay, I'm really ready to watch this one race this weekend?
I'm ready to see Chase. I have been paying attention to kind of what he's been saying about the Hondas and stuff like that, how he struggled keeping the front end underneath of him, which is very obvious for the last 2 years. A lot of his crashes were super goofy in the fact that the crash shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But it was just something along the lines of that. But I'm curious to see if riding this KTM is going to change that and change how many mistakes Chase normally has. Because who normally crashes in Supercross? Chase.
Yeah. Yep. Which he just did.
Yes, he did. And Hunter. Oh,
no, that was on Freeze. That was Vince.
Not like his visors, dude.
That sucks. It's good to see the brotherly love, though. I don't know if you got to it yet, Dave, but they showed Jet absolutely pissed that Hunter was in that crash and limping.
Oh my goodness.
Ken is gone.
Grant, so
Vince literally just came from. What's that? I was just gonna say, did anyone else see that replay? Like Vince came from the next town over and just went across on everybody.
Yeah. You edited the most recent pod for the Moto Academy, and you heard me call out a potential winner in Roxon. So I just want to say it's the first time in a long time where I've been semi-right, at least for the heat race, where Roxon looks like he's going to take this thing. So but still early. I'm most excited, and I'll be completely honest. I'm stoked to see how those betas do. And I'm pretty stoked on seeing what happens with Malcolm Stewart, man. Like this dude I've been hearing so many things about him just absolutely flying on the test track. He's looking like a completely different rider. Like this dude is like all out speed now. I want to see if it actually applies when it comes race time. So those are the two that I'm most amped to see. What about you, Josh?
Well, my 450 guy is Chase. So I was bummed right there. But I'm definitely curious to see, like what Jordan was saying, if the bike change fixes his silly crashes, which we saw happen in the 250 race where the Shimoda just kind of washed it. And that's why I was like, oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So Chase is who I want to watch, and he looks really fast right now coming through the pack. But yeah, Mookie, man, he
flying.
Yeah, he's flying. That's cool. I mean, I'm not a huge Roxon guy, if you guys know me personally. So that does nothing for me. I'm kind of hoping either AP or Mookie or even Eli comes up and catches him. But I also want to see how Eli does coming back from that Achilles injury. And I don't know if you guys all played other sports, but like Achilles is no joke.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That's for him to come back and for him to do it so fast. That's incredible.
Yeah. Achilles
that's also the benefit of having the best doctors on your team.
That's true too. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's man, what injuries could we have all come back from super early if we had those doctors too?
Right. Tell me about it. Oh, that'd be lovely. Dude, I know I'm an FXR boy through and through. Shout out to FXR. But Eli's gear setup looking pretty steezy. He might be my pick for this week's drip check. looking pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie.
Pass.
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 You don't
Pass.
think so?
No, I like. I don't know. I don't know. Shimoda's custom kit was pretty cool. Fox is doing like 2 different limited kits. That one that Kenny's wearing with the all black front, I think Adam's version of that is pretty sick.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I can see that. I did like the FXR setup, obviously being an FXR board. Shout out to FXR Moto, Flow Vision goggles, EVS, Speed and Sport, Overshare Advice and Planning, and Flow Vision goggles. But I didn't see them already. Big supporters, big sponsors of our program. And speaking of programs, don't forget, guys, if you guys want to go behind the scenes at a race near you, kickstart your career in racing, or just have an amazing VIP fan experience, check out the collectivexp.com, where you guys can join a real race team, be hands-on with anything from mechanic support, videography, content creation, team and program management, the whole shebang, or just be one of our royally treated Golden Star VIPs, where you get treated like absolute royalty and get a chance to really immerse yourself in a racer's program. And it goes farther beyond than just a meet and greet and a handshake. You really become a member of the team and really make lifelong connections that could help you with your racing career, or just help you be that more of a fan of the sport. JJ's been a huge supporter of it. Grant is one of our successful alumni that transitioned from an intern into a full-time gig. And we've got many more stories like that. So many guys on these and girls on these teams that you'll see have gone through our program. One that just graduated, Eliza, shout out if she's ever listening, just got hired on by Feld full-time in a really cool role after our internship program with her. So we're really excited. We're really proud of all of our interns, and we're stoked that our program helps support privateer riders like Jordan Jarvis, like Cade Clayson, and so many others. TheCollectiveXP.com, at TheCollectiveEX on Instagram and TikTok. We're going to be more on TikTok, guys. Check us out. Check out the YouTube channel, and be sure to experience the races like never before. It's honestly the same cost as a regular ticket for Supercross, but you get unparalleled access, pit passes. You get some amazing swag thanks to our sponsors. You get the chance to really be part of a team, and that's priceless in my opinion. So check it out, TheCollectiveXP.com. We got the program going all year long. Sorry, guys. Got to pay the bills, got to keep the lights on. All right, guy. Grant, I'll kick it off to you first, man. So far, who's standing out to you in the 450s, man? I know it's only the Heat 1, but anybody looking really, really good to you in your opinion?
I mean, I've been trying to keep an eye on Sexton come through the pack, and I mean, I know he hasn't been up with the top guys, but watching him go through the whoops compared to everyone else, especially for a KTM, he's looked pretty smooth going through them. And okay. And I thought, I think it was Malcolm, or I think it was Malcolm. There's one section where he looked like he was hauling.
Oof.
Sorry.
Good for AP.
And yeah. No, so I would say definitely Sexton looked the best, but Malcolm's looking good too.
What do you think the Achilles heel is for Malcolm, Josh? Do you think it's the starts? Do you think it's being a bit more aggressive through corners or charging sections? What do you think is the one thing that Malcolm really needs to solidify a win this season?
That's a great question. I think honestly, it might be expectations and the shadow of his brother. He has to, just having that last name, I feel like everybody holds him to that higher standard. So we're over here why hasn't he won yet? And obviously he has the speed to do it, but in our head, it's well, your brother had 50 wins and you have 0. What's the problem? I don't know if there is a problem, and he is just that next level down. You know what I mean? That AP level, that AC level, and they can win. It's just is he ever going to do it? I'd love to see it. I was talking to a few buddies in a Facebook group, and it's like, who do you guys want to see win? My number one was Malcolm. I was like, I want to see him get his first win. I really do. Is he that next level guy though? That's the thing, because he's already getting up there. It's so weird to say this. He's like, what, almost 30? Like, that's not old. But in this sport, like, he's hitting that spot where it's like, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it soon. Yeah.
I feel like with Malcolm, like he's at that level, like you were saying, of like that second tier guy, but he shows speed of like the fastest in the world at times. Yes. So I think that plays to it, to where it's like people see it and it's like, obviously he can do it. He just like has trouble linking it together for like a whole race, let alone a season.
I agree. JJ, did you get a chance to ride with the Stewarts at all, their place?
I did. I got to ride there a couple times, actually.
How was it?
Oh, it was sick. Big booters, sand. Literally identical to the video games that you could play.
Jeez. Did you get a chance?
I think the direction might have been different. I'm sorry?
Did you get a chance to watch Malcolm rip it up at all?
I think the first year I went, which was like 2015 or something like that, I think James might have rode. I don't remember though. I think someone rode at one point, but the last few years that I went, nobody rode.
Well, there was somebody blocking a motorcycle. I didn't really pay attention.
That was a while ago. Thank you very much. And I was riding myself.
I still love you. It's okay.
Well,
Jordan,
now because you gave me shit, I got to give you some. Your boy, Benny Bloss on a beta rode off the track, didn't finish the moto. So I don't know what that's about, because he was looking good.
I thought so too. And honestly, like, the betas look a little, what's the word? Different, yeah. But it's cool. Like, it's cool to see a different brand out there. You know, there's people that are saying that they really love the look. There's other people saying they like absolutely hate it. I don't really hate it. It does look a little bit weird, but I'm stoked to see it. I'm hoping he pulled off just because it's like, I got tired and I was out of contention for qualifying straight through. So conserve energy, whatever, and just come back with the LCQ. But I'm pretty stoked to see another brand. I'm really stoked to see the Triumphs and how they kind of come out swinging too. So that'll be very.
I mean, they got a good team for East Coast, for sure. Yeah. It looks like Hunter did finish, but he wasn't going very quickly. I don't know if that was just to conserve himself for the LCQ and the rest of the night, or if he's hurt. I don't know if you saw it, but when they showed him trying to get back to his bike, he was limping pretty good. And when he first went down, he put all his weight on his left leg, because like the bike went this way and he went the other way. Yeah. And his left foot just planted. So hopefully it's just a little tweaked and it's fine.
Can you please pray? I want to see him do good. I want to see him do good this year.
Yeah, I want to.
You got to win, but just mix it up. Give me some podiums and stuff. Mix it up. Come on.
Right?
I
want to piggyback what you said earlier, talking about Joe falling. I don't know if that's necessarily due to the Honda or the fact that the dirt at A1 this year looks super loose. So if you watch practice today, there was quite a few people that were sliding out.
Yeah.
So it's getting really hard on the bottom, but with like that little layer on top of loose dirt and pebbles. So it's making it really slick for some of these guys, because Kitchen did the same thing. Kitchen slid out too. So I'm curious to see how that's going to take effect in the main event once it starts getting beat in for a while. Yeah. With no track work in between. Yeah. And once the track starts drying out more, I'm curious to see if we're going to see a lot of little mistakes of like people sliding out or almost or anything like that, just because the track is getting shittier as the night goes on.
Yeah. I'm curious to see too. We did get a question from Jessica in the chat. JJ, what's the worst injury that you've ever had? Oh, whole shot and a half for Jack. Ooh,
it's over. I lied.
It's over.
No, Coop said nope.
Yeah, good.
I don't know.
Good.
I mean, I've been fairly lucky. I'm gonna knock on some wood right there. I mean, I've had some good injuries, but nothing, I guess, too bad. Now
Mhm.
I'm the one behind you guys because they haven't dropped on my TP yet.
Oh, dude,
Um,
I thought JA was just gonna get just freaking just
Did you see that?
obliterated. Yeah, that was scary.
yeah, I mean, I've partially torn my ACL. That one
Mhm,
wasn't great, but I did that when I was younger, so I don't really remember it too much.
mhm.
But I lacerated my spleen for the second time, probably about 2 years ago. That
Wow.
one sucked. And then I broke my humerus, my collarbone, and 4 ribs all at once. So that one
Wow.
sucked.
Jeez.
The ribs took forever to heal.
That
They
sucks.
took like 4 months.
Goodness
But
gracious.
like I said, I've been fairly lucky for the most part.
Jordan, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So I'm psyched to see Prado come over and give Supercross a few tries.
Same.
Have you thought about ever going overseas and try an MXGP race?
I have before. I went over in 2019, I believe. I raced the Matterley Basin MXGP in England. I raced the WMX class, and I didn't have the best results. I was on a Bud Racing Kawasaki at that time. That's the bike I got lent to me. And I had no time to try it, prep it, make adjustments, nothing. I showed up and I raced the bike. And that will just so happened to be the round that a storm rolled through and folded the scaffolding into a pretzel that sits behind the gate.
I think
Completely
I remember that.
twisted it. Yep. It rained and snowed every day, and it was just really difficult. The suspension was set up for, I guess, a typical female setting. I run my stuff a bit stiffer. I jump a lot more than they do over there. And just the whole bike was different, so I didn't have the best experience. But the second moto, I battled with Chiara Fontanesi for most of it. And I felt pretty good about that. But I ended up falling the last lap, and I got stuck under my bike. So that kind of killed that score. But the first moto, I fell well on the first lap, and I went from last up to like 12th or something like that in the mud. So I was pretty pumped with that. I would love to go back over there, but I just personally can't afford it by myself, and nobody has been willing to give me anything else over there. But one day I will get back over there. I'll do one season, hopefully more, but I will do it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see JJ make a run at some cool stuff in Europe. We got one question for all of you guys, and that has to do with the new inception of the leader lights. I think it's unique. It's maybe a little controversial depending on where your stance is, but I want to hear from each one of you guys. Grant, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the leader lights? Is it hokey? Is it cool? What do you think?
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't personally like them.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like you just pay attention to the race. You don't know who's leading, but I think it's not a bad thing to help out like newer fans, especially with Supercross. That seems to be where like most new people start with watching Supercross, and it definitely isn't a bad thing. But I don't know. It looks kind of like dumb and gimmicky to me. But I would say overall, it's a positive.
What are your thoughts, Josh?
I think I can see where it could be distracting as a rider, but also I feel like this level, everyone out there, I don't think it matters to them. They're so used to flashing lights, loud noises, everything, freaking pyro going off next to them. Like, I don't think it affects them. It's funny because when Max had it, there was a shot they had. He had the whip with the leader lights on, and I was like, that's going to make a sick picture. So it looks cool, and I think some bikes it looks cooler. I know they don't do it for looks. I mean, I get it. I never was a fan of when they would come around the track and they would have the flashing pylons. I thought that was probably more distracting than the leader lights, because when it's on your bike, I feel like after a few seconds, you're just going to zone it out. Although there was an SMX race last year, one of the playoff races, where they were going back and forth. And I don't know if any of you guys caught that, but the lights were literally like on, off, on, off, on, off. That would be annoying.
Yeah.
But again, I probably don't know if I would even notice it if I'm in that situation. So I'm not sure.
JJ, would you be annoyed?
I don't-
Oh,
I
Sorry.
don't know if those I don't know if they're actually lights or something that the camera picks up. Because, you look at pictures of the bike when they're, sitting there for the podiums and stuff like that, and you really can't see anything there. So I don't know if they're actually lights or if it's just something the camera picks up. If it's something the camera picks up, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it. But if it's not, I feel like it could definitely be a little distracting. But like Grant said, I think, if you're watching, it's normally not very difficult to figure out who's leading.
Yeah.
They're typically on the camera, like that's who you're watching most of the time. And if not, you look to the left, see the number, and then place it to the bike. So I think it's just a personal preference. I don't really care, but if they're actual lights on the bike, that could get kind of annoying after a little bit. I see like newer bikes, the mode button or the map switch or whatever, that can flash for like an error for something on the bike sometimes.
Yeah.
So I feel like if those lights were flashing like that, I would be thinking something's wrong with my bike. I don't know. I think it's just a personal preference.
I could definitely see that.
What do you think, Dave?
Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that much. I thought it was kind of hokey when I first saw them try it out on, forget whose bike it was, but if it
Nicoletti.
Who was it?
It was Phil
Nicoletti.
Phil. Why would they ever put leader lights on Phil's bike? Because he doesn't lead, and then they put him on there, and he hole shots and like led half the heat race or whatever. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of hokey at first, but like I get it. If it's for like new people coming into the sport and stuff, and we're all about growth for Moto, right? So I don't really. It's probably just like how everyone hated hating it being called the lights class, the 250 class a couple of years ago, and then like a year later, everyone's calling it the lights class. I'm like one of those deals. So
I still call it the lights class.
You still do?
I do. I try not to. I catch myself every once in a while. I'll be like, the lights. Actually, I think I said it like 5 minutes into this. I was like, I'm really excited for the lights. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, what an old man thing to do, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, that was a good one, dude. Jet through those whoops was outrageous. Yeah. He was flying. I thought Grant was like, oh gosh, because like he was going so fast. I didn't realize he was gonna friggin' fall.
I'm wondering if so the first part of that race, Jet was kind of just being complacent where he was. He wasn't really pushing that hard. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if that was due to seeing his brother crash like that. Because every other time that Hunter has crashed, Jet's never really been able to see it. He just hears that his brother crashed, but he's never actually seen the crash happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like him being able to watch it, you could see he was definitely concerned and worried. I wonder if that maybe caused him to lose a little bit of focus. And then like halfway through that race, he was like, all right, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. I need to go. Because he made up a lot of time super, super quick in like 2 laps. I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like it took him a little bit to get comfortable, and then he almost like flipped a switch.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, it was almost like he felt like it was too little too late, and he almost got desperate, I think, because where he crashed, it looks like he kind of like screwed up like his entry into that corner before, and like there was 2 ruts, and the outside rut that he hit was like the line from earlier, and it looked like super shitty, obviously, because it sent him off the track, but he like missed the main rut, hit that one, and then just couldn't go anywhere. It just looked like he was
It
kind
kinda
of
looked
rushing
like-
it a little bit.
Yeah, it did. But it also kind of looked like he came into it, like you said, and rushed, like definitely trying to carry some more speed into it.
Mhm.
But I think he would have been fine. But when he came into it super fast, I don't know if he missed his brake or something because it was a right-hand turn. So he got to take his foot off the brake at some point. But it stood him up like super straight. And then once it did that, it just kicked his front wheel out and he started going sideways. That was a
Yeah,
crash
it's like-
we'd see from Chase.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. But hey, there will be no Chase Sexton slander in front of Josh. You hear me? No Chase Sexton slander.
Hey, I like Chase. I like Chase. I just think he had a lot of goofy, super, super weird crashes that I don't know if it was due to overriding the bike or just him not being comfortable on the bike. But I don't think I've seen someone have that many crashes that you're just like, what just happened? How did that happen?
Mm.
He's a good rider. Don't get me wrong. I was rooting for him last year.
You don't
I
have
wanted
to
him to
defend
win.
yourself. It's okay.
No, but I'm
I,
sorry. Jet holds top spot now. I'd love to see him come out and win A1. That'd be sick.
She's only saying that
To
because
be
her and
honest, I
Jet are
think
buddies
I'm-
now. But she's, after they both taught the AJ class together, and they're just both being pro superstars. They're just, they're in their own world.
I think I might be a bigger Chase Sexton fan than a Jet fan, even though I like them both.
Ooh,
but-
don't tell AJ that.
No, I know, but no, I'd tell AJ. He'll be all right.
Of course. So
I don't know,
Jordan, you've seen Josh
And he
got
pulls up the
pictures
jersey.
and stuff. Like Josh has every jersey. I'm sure he has your jersey that you don't even know you had.
I don't actually. I don't have a JJ jersey.
I don't either.
I have
JJ,
to get you one.
come
I
on.
got you. I got a lot of gear. I've got a lot of gear.
I need a JJ jersey
I can make that happen.
and a helmet and a JJ set of boots and JJ bike. JJ exhaust.
I'll go
and
race
tire.
something, and you can have everything.
Done deal.
You could
Down
pack
to
the
the knee
whole
braces and ethicas.
pack the whole van up, the easy up, everything. If you pack it up, you can have it.
The ethicals. That's funny. Oh, that's
So
good.
Dave, you know how I was telling you earlier? I brought one up that you'd probably want to see. Like I brought
Yes,
this one special up
please.
for you.
Please.
All right, you're gonna take a guess. Take a guess what it is.
So I love my JS stuff, but
Yep.
you also know that I like my GP boys, and
Okay.
I want to say maybe a Geisha or a Cairoli.
No, you were right first.
Oh, just JS. Oh
No
no,
way.
dude!
Yeah,
How did
dude,
you get
this
that?
It's even got the race wins right there.
No way.
This is rookie season Houston. Jim
Josh, does
Stewart.
Dave know where you live? Because you should be
Uh,
scared if he does. He's breaking into your house and stealing that.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I literally will. Oh my!
You
That
have a
thing's
Stewart
sick.
now.
Yeah, I have an amateur Stu. Dude. Do you know how much I want the pink zebra print?
I know you do. That's
Gosh,
the year after.
We're gonna have to talk about an agreement. The wife won't be happy, but we're gonna have to talk about an agreement, man.
No,
I'm gonna
no,
be
that
walking
was
around.
not
your
Josh,
house
you better watch your back.
Trying to pay off
Yeah,
my
I know.
the jersey.
He's helped me get jerseys before.
I need that thing is pretty freaking sweet, man. I gotta.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know if that's my favorite Stu one. Either that one or I have a Vegas where it's like black with gold foil. That one's pretty cool.
yeah.
Dave's like, you've got another one? Oh, now I'm really coming
yeah.
to break in.
Oh, dude, you already know. You already know.
Let's see, what else did I bring up?
You already
This
know what
one.
it is.
So this one's pretty special. This is I hate that it's backwards, but this is Jets Moto 1.
Is that A1?
No, this is Unadilla first pro moto ever.
Oh. Do you see what I mean, though? Everybody in the chat, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody should have these jerseys. Josh, Josh has one for like, look at this. Every pro rider.
Same race, Shimoda's. This one's second moto, though. So the Jets first moto, Shimoda's second moto.
You shouldn't
Didn't Jet wear that at A1 when he knocked himself
Yeah, but that
out?
was the 83. That was the number 83. You talking about when he crashed racing for Anders?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the number 83.
I was going to say, I thought he wore that same gear.
He did. Trying to think what else here.
My goodness. That's crazy. Shout out in the chat.
So this is my
CEO, Mr. Pat Galster's in town. What's up, dude? Good to hear from you. Shout out to the Leatherman. Shout out to Jair. Shout out to the Eckardts. Shout out to Mike McSwain. Everybody showing love in the chat. Really appreciate you guys joining and chatting with me and a couple pros, and of course Josh, who has way more jerseys than anyone. So stoked to have you guys on. Those jerseys are absolutely insane. You literally should not have those.
I don't know. I'm blessed. I'm definitely blessed. I've made some cool friends along the way. I've stood in the pits for far too long looking like a creep, as my wife would say. And yeah, dude, it started a lot. Hey, there's my jersey, the Chase jersey right there. Yeah, no, my very first jersey was Tim Ferry 2000 in Southwick from practice. I just walked up. I was like 12 years old, and I was like, Tim, can I have your jersey? He said, here you go. And that started it. So, yeah. You can blame Tim Ferry for this obsession I have.
All right, yeah, we'll blame Red Dog. It's all on him.
What's your game plan when you're like going up trying to get a jersey? Like, what's your move?
Do you rehearse the lines in your head?
So,
hey, can I have a jersey?
It's definitely evolved from being that 12-year-old kid, right? Like you have to be age appropriate. I'm 36 now. It doesn't work the same as before. So now it's more like I don't want to give out my secrets because then I'm gonna have competition. Like I can't do that. No, it's build connections. Don't resell them, right? Like you don't want to ask for something that you're just going to resell. Like a lot of the guys, they appreciate the collection and how much it means to me. So yeah, that's usually what it is. And yeah, just to be appreciative and genuine about it.
Makes sense.
Would never work for me. I would just be so like weird and like, can I have your jersey, Mr. Deegan? I think you go really fast. Sorry,
you have been with me when I've got a bunch. How many do you think you've been with me that I've gotten?
Oh, at least 4 or 5, man.
Okay, yeah. So every single time I do it, I come back and you tell me the same thing every time. You're like, I don't know how you do that.
Yes.
And I'm like, bro, you talk on this in front of hundreds and thousands of people every week. You're a talker. That's what you do. Go do it. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's not the same. I can agree with Dave. It's not the same.
Thank you. It's not.
It's not the same. I am the same way. I don't like to talk to people in person, but this or like anything else, I'm good. But if I actually have to be face to face with you and talk, you do it. I don't want to do
it. That's not the JJ is very sweet to all of her fans, though. I will say that JJ is wonderful with all of her interns, all of her fans. So I will say that.
Grant, you better agree with that.
No, that's 100% the truth. Yeah, like, as I've done quite a few vlogs for Jordan now. And like, no matter what, like whoever comes up, no matter what time, like she always makes time for people, to the point where it's like, all right, go to the line, like it's time to go.
JJ's the
Also, I do the
absolute
$10 later grant.
That's fun. Dude, I get so
Perfect.
many people that are like that like DM me about like how awesome JJ is and what a great role model and all this other stuff, and I'm like, ugh, whatever, dude. Like, obviously, I'm like, yes,
Little do they
I love JJ
know.
too. I love her too, but I'm like, ugh, whatever.
If only they
No.
knew the real her.
If only
Gosh.
they knew the real her. Yeah. No, JJ is an absolutely wonderful role model for everybody, and that's why we love her so much. Okay,
I love
let's
you too,
see.
Dave.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Oh, Pat saying yes. I do dirty things for that JS259 zebra. Man, that is like everybody's like childhood dream. It was so iconic when that gear came out. So like, I don't think before that there weren't really many like out there super cool like unique jerseys that we haven't seen.
So, did Dave freeze?
Oh, I think Dave froze up. I'm pretty sure I had.
I thought it was
Yeah.
my Wi-Fi again.
Did I freeze?
No, Dave froze.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
froze.
you did.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
me
good
now?
now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry. But yeah, I don't think prior to the JS7 125 days that like we had cool, unique jerseys that were out and about. Like I think there were certain like kits that were like, oh, that's pretty cool color, but like the Stu zebra print, that was like so out there, so different. Nobody wore pink like that at that era. Nobody had the zebra print. No one had like the holographic, the silver platinum look. Nobody rode like him. It was just such an iconic look that like springboarded all these different cool one-off limited edition gear collections and all that stuff. So like I don't know if we'll ever see like another jersey setup that was like that different from the mainstream or that iconic. What do you think, Josh?
So, I am. How much? I think I'm like 5 years older than you. I'm a few years older than you. So my era extends back a little further than you.
Mm-hmm.
So my iconic look is my all-time favorite jersey, which is the GI Fro Emig.
See,
From
you see what I'm talking
97.
about? This like a number one
So-
Epic jersey. Just like, oh, I like this one.
Well, this is if I had to get rid of all of my jerseys except for one, this is the one I'm keeping. Like that's my baby. But when that kit dropped and Fro was at Troy, Ohio in the 110-degree heat, he's rocking all black with the camo pants and everyone else is under their umbrellas, and there's that picture of him like this on the starting line, like just sitting in the sun with his helmet on. Like that's iconic to me. But what were you, like 6 years old in 97? So
Pretty
Jordan,
much.
were you even born? Yeah, see?
I was
it's
born in 2001.
Yeah, so it's different. It's just different. Like everybody has their own favorites based on when they grew up. To me, that is the iconic set. To your point, Dave, I think it's harder now for sets to really stand out like they did in the 90s and the 2000s because teams wore team sets all season long, right? Like Stu wore that pink stuff probably. If he raced 20 times that year, he probably wore it 12 times. You know, like he wore it a lot.
Yeah.
Now they wear a different kit every weekend. So they wear it once and then you never see it again.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, oh, that was cool. But it's not going to latch on like the zebra stuff where he wore it week after week after week either. So
what do you think's been the closest like new rollout that kind of like caught semi-fire, if you will? Like what do you think's been like the one something that's in recent years that has been like people really seem to dig that look?
I don't know. I personally, that shift white and gold Vega stuff from like 2020, I thought that set was unreal. I have the entire team in that set, actually, literally from Jet, Hunter, Craig, Sexton, all of them. That's my favorite set, like modern set. They wore that a couple times.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know. That's mine. I wouldn't say it's the same level as Stewart, though.
I would agree with that. What would yours be, JJ?
I don't really remember gear too well. I know. I think one of my favorite sets.
Fox things I just don't remember anymore.
I think one of my favorite Fox sets, and it's a very simple gear. It was. I'm trying to think back. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago because I wore it at Loretta's. It was a white and maroon, like a purple kind of reddish maroon color, and I don't know why, but I love that gear. I love that colorway that they had. Yeah, I mean they've definitely stuff throughout the years, but like Josh said, they come out with something. So it is so hard to remember, like super cool sets of gear. Anything neon, I dig. I like it.
How about for you, Grant?
I love white gear. Just it looks so clean, and it's like I don't know. There's just something about it, and that exact gear. That white shift gear. Like every video game that I play, I have that white shift gear because it's so sick, and I'd never got any of it. Like in real life, but that's like my favorite set of gear ever. Just like white helmet, that white gear, and like some white Tech 7s or Tech 10s. But I would say probably like the next like trend or whatever that caught on was like the super tight gear, and I feel like Stewart kind of also like pioneered that. He like obviously was 7, but I feel like he kind of started that whole like skin tight gear trend.
Yeah, thanks.
Or at least was a big part of it.
Really appreciate that, man. I come out there looking like a summer sausage now. It's awesome. Dude, it's like, come on, dude, cut me some slack, man. I need a little bit of breathing around the thighs and ass, you know?
Could you imagine if you were sponsored by TLD and you had to rock that anal gear?
Dude. You know what, dude? My personality, I'd lean really into it. I feel like every picture I take in the gear, I'd be like all like seductive and.
Oh man, I don't know how no one at TLD like just didn't catch that. I don't know, man. Like the colors were cool.
Yeah, it was a cool print for sure.
Yeah, it's just like, especially the promo shot. But I could understand wearing it. It never lines up to where it says anal, but like, dude, you're taking a photo, you're sending it out to all of these media outlets saying, hey, I'm paying you to run this ad, and no one caught that. I don't know. That's bad. That's bad.
Actually, since you brought up TLD, that made me think. Do you remember, not this year, but this last year, the TLD gear that they were wearing for Washougal and the helmet for
Venom?
the Venom gear? That was cool. That was a cool set.
My buddy has the Barsha jersey from the Venom Barsha jersey.
Oh, you need the helmet to go with it.
Yeah. Yep.
That
stuff was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I don't know. Mine obviously would be this, first thing would be the Stu setup, but I don't know if I have like a second in recent years. I don't know what really like stood out like big time to me. I mean, I know like what I like myself in and like that kind of stuff, but as far as the pros go, I mean, that one.
Chase's Bulls stuff that was like everything aligning to be perfect. Like, he's from Illinois. He's number 23. He was on the Honda, so he got to rock the red, the white, the black. I don't know. I have the white one, and then I have his Tar Heels one too. Like when he did the North Carolina Tar Heels one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even think of one that would like make me. Like I guess some that I've really liked was I think AJ had like almost like that pink setup that Kenny brought him over last year. Grant, I can't remember what round it was, but that stuff was.
It was Foxborough or
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I like that setup. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, yep. It was like white and pink kind of.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was.
I don't know. Most of Fox's kits are pretty sick. The like one recent one that I remember that I did not like at all was like the cow gear, like the white and black like polka dots.
You didn't like that?
Are you talking
No,
about?
no.
Are you talking about the white and black pants with the blue jersey? Is that the one you're talking about?
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I don't know.
No, you're
I
talking
know.
about the AC. It was like lime green with white and black, right?
Yes, and there was like
Okay.
cow print on it, and
Yeah,
one of my, or not even really a buddy, just somebody I know at the track like had it, and like a couple guys wore it during nationals, and I just did not like it.
JJ, if Fox says that you have to wear that new speed suit, are you wearing it?
Well, I guess I can give you this tidbit. I'm not using Fox anymore. I have another gear sponsor.
Ooh. I hope it starts with an
Yeah.
F and ends with a Y.
Dang.
It does not, unfortunately.
JJ, why? Why are you doing this to me?
It's gotta be Fly. Surely it's Fly.
I'll give you another
Thor?
hint. It's
Okay.
not my choice. I'm required to wear it.
Oh, that's a little twofer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my girl's got some support.
Alpine
yes.
stars.
No.
A stars. Oh,
No.
dang.
Is it like gear, like Activision gear, like on
Thor.
MX versus ATP, like the discount gear special or something?
It's not that low, but it's not, I guess, one of your top ones if you consider that. I will say an amateur team.
I know what it
uses
is.
What is it?
Is it Thor?
No, she's the new rider for Triumph, and she's rocking Renan.
That would be,
Nope.
dude. They would get some great
That would've been
publicity
cool.
out of JJ.
Yeah,
That would be
Yeah,
rad.
that would have been cool, but nope.
JJ and Renan would be like, that would be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe next year.
That would have
Who
been really
knows?
sick.
Is it
But
Canvas?
nope. Nope. An amateur team uses them.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh,
No idea.
It's not Moose, is it?
It is.
509.
Oh, going to. Oh, okay. So I think I know the team.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll talk.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so
I'll
lost
fill you
now.
in.
I don't know.
Like I said, it's gonna come out next week. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday.
Are you
Okay,
gonna have it? What day? Oh, this is off topic. Do you know where we're riding next week?
I thought it was Punta Gorda, right?
Sure. Is it gonna be there, or like do you have gear already?
I think it's gonna be Punta Gorda, and I do have gear.
Oh, okay.
I actually did a photo shoot. Last Wednesday.
Nice.
So yeah, I've got some gear. We're good.
I'm stoked. I'm pretty stoked. Gate drop.
Billy's way back.
250 LCQ. We got. Is that Henry? That's not Henry Miller out front, is it? On the Suzuki? Nah.
Yeah, 87. Yeah.
I do not see him out there.
He's third, isn't he?
Maybe he got shuffled a little bit.
he is.
And we've also got Ladinovic is in this
Fourth,
one. Our buddy
Yeah,
Addison Emery
Billy's
is in
way
this
back.
one. Any other big names?
Yeah, Billy's gonna be watching from the industry section, I think. Unfortunately.
It's probably just they botched that section. Probably just the starts that got him, huh?
Shout out Max Sanford, 6th place. Oh my God. Someone's gonna get their front wheel sawed off here. These guys are sketchy.
Yeah, they are.
Welcome to LCQs on the pro level.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to talk like that. I've been in enough of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, I think that's Max Miller on the Suzuki.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, not Henry
Yeah,
Miller.
Manny just texted me, and yeah, Lance Kobish, Carter Beast out there. Sanford had some really good rides last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Greco out there. Shout out to Greco. Man, Maggie out there as well.
Can we start a GoFundMe for this guy to powder coat his wheels black on his Cowie? I do not like Bennick.
Talk about Bennick.
Oh
yeah.
But it's because he's got the retro graphics though to go with it though.
I don't like the retro graphics.
I don't either, to be honest.
Yeah, on the Cowies, I don't really dig the retro look. It's just like the purple and green. Just,
I mean, I see what he's going for, and I do appreciate it, but
yeah,
pass.
Yeah,
pass.
Yeah, I'm all good.
No, I do appreciate it, but yuck.
Dude, Billy's moving up.
He is.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to do some aggressive block passing.
Dave, can you text any of your mechanic buddies to like throw some stones at the 7 people in front of him?
You know, it's
well,
funny.
he might get one.
AJ was texting me one day, and he's like, "Dude, where are you?" And I sent him a picture of me like behind the gate, like cheesing. He's like, "Dude, pay attention." I'm like, "I'm sorry." I was like wrenching for like 2 different dudes. Oh man.
Ooh.
They're making this track look sketchy right now.
Yeah.
I think only Miller's. Once he goes down, I've only seen
you jinxed him.
Miller hit like all the sections solidly. Everyone else is kind of botching their rhythms. Sheesh.
Oh, come
you
on.
see how loose that dirt is on top right now?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of slide outs tonight.
It looks really deceiving because it's like, it looks like there's traction,
it looks
but
nice.
There's not.
Yeah.
Is it almost like Southwicky where it's like soft on top, hard base?
I mean, in a sense, yes, but the soft on top is like an inch, so it makes it super, super slick because there's literally nothing to hold you in. And especially on a 250, you're getting on it so hard to make it over these rhythms.
Yeah. Miller is real. Gosh, that retro Cowie is really bothering me. I'm sorry. Like I want him to do good. Congratulations to him, but dude, it's really like grinding my gears right now. Seeing it
yeah.
It looks like a KDX. I'm not gonna lie.
Literally.
I feel like I'm watching an old KDX just rip around the track, man. Oh my gosh. Leatherman saying that there's some carnage out there, 100%. Anytime there's an LCQ 250 out there, there's just going to be absolute mayhem. JJ, in your opinion, in your racing career, you've done pretty much everything. Is there anything scarier than racing a 250 LCQ or Consi of any kind?
Sometimes racing in the women's class, depending on the conditions.
Okay.
I mean, most of the time it's not bad, but like a couple years ago at Loretta's, there was, I don't know if you remember this, but there was 2 women classes. There was the women all-stars and then the women 14 plus.
Yep.
And they had 20 in one class and 30 in the other. So there was 50 of us on the track at one time.
Double gated, guys?
Yeah.
Why?
Couldn't tell ya. But basically the people who were in the all-star class, with the exception of like the first 5 or 10, were the women that couldn't make it in the women 14 plus class. But most of the time they're not bad. It is definitely like I feel like it's not as bad in motocross, the men's class anyway. Like for the LCQ.
Yeah.
But for Supercross, I wouldn't want to be in it. Y'all
Yeah,
go
same.
first. I'll just look around.
Oh, good gosh.
I'll get a good eye of the track before.
That was close. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could hack it in a dude. I'd be either like super angry wanting to fight, or I'd be like crying because my like heart's broken or something.
Is the race over?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
You can spoil it. I think I know what's gonna happen. You're good.
No, it's not like just you'll see. But how are you gonna let a dude sneak under you in the last corner?
Yeah, that was a little.
Because he's completely folding right now. I mean, his move through the whoops and then the very next section, going through that rhythm section, landing front wheel high in between the transfer.
Yeah, but it's like just creep along the inside and roll to finish. I don't know. Yeah, if I was Kobush, I would have absolutely sawed his front wheel off too. But Kobush just kind of like was nice about it.
He was. I like Lance. I like that he's.
Lance is a good kid.
Yeah, I like that he's giving it another go because I know he got like top 10. It was 2020, I think maybe like the pro Loretta's race they did in 2020. I think he got like top 10, and then he's like, all right, I'm done. And I'm like, wait, what? And then it's cool to see him back out there 4 years later. He raced last year a few races, and he did well too, like scored some points. So
he got hurt last year.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that's why he only did a couple. He got hurt.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Once again, thank you guys for joining in and watching with us for this very first for 2024 TCE live Supercross watch party. We've got some great guests. We got the one and only JJ Jordan Jarvis on, one Grant Eckardt, Mr. Moto Academy's finest there behind the lens, and of course the memorabilia master, the collection king, if you will, Josh Gagnon. And I'm your host, the best looking man in motocross, Dave Drakes. No one's opposing, so I guess I'll wear that shirt.
Sounds perfect.
I want to say a huge shout out to our sponsors, FXR Racing, Flow Vision Goggles, Overshare Advice and Planning. We want to say a huge shout out to Speed and Sport Adventures, EVS, and Evans Power Coolant. Guys, if you want to go behind the scenes and work with top riders like Jordan Jarvis and so many more, check out the collectivexp.com where you guys can go behind the scenes at a Supercross race near you. You guys can get all day pit access, tons of swag. You can make incredibly crucial career starting connections and really immerse yourself in the sport. You get a chance to do rig tours. You get to be with the team all day, touch the bikes, be part of the crew as part of one of our interns, or just do the fan experience and be pampered by one of your favorite teams. And all of the funding that we raise goes right back to the program and into the pockets of the riders like Jordan Jarvis, Cade Clayson, Dave Pulley, Kevin Morand, and so many other great riders. We really appreciate their support, and we want to help you get your career in the sport or just immerse yourself that much farther and make some lifelong connections with people at the top of the sport. At the Collective X on Instagram, thecollectivexp.com. Let us help you kickstart your career today. A1. I'm stoked on A1 so far. It's going to be pretty hard to top some of the ones that we've seen in recent history. Josh, you've got an extensive moto history collection of the brand there. What's one A1 that stood out to you more so than the other ones?
The Perfect Storm 05, because I feel like this is the Perfect Storm 2.0, but it ended up being that mutter. But you had Reed, Stewart, Carmichael, McGrath was coming back, Pastrana was giving it another go, Wyndham, like that season was all time.
Was that 05 you said?
05, yeah. The mutter, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I'll do another one then. 2022, when I got to go to A1 myself.
I saw you there. Yeah. I saw you there last year.
Yeah, just because my boy Garrett almost podiumed, and he let Hamaker pass him on the last lap, but whatever.
Over under Hunter Lawrence makes the main right now. What do you guys got?
Oh, he's got it.
He's buried, but I think he's got it.
Yeah, he's buried right now.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. They're still in the gate for me. He's got it.
He already won. He won. It's over.
Yeah, JJ, we're on San Diego. What are you doing?
I'm still back at Ironman for the last round of Pro Moto.
She's still at SMX, man. Let's see. We got Chiz is chizzing, huh?
Always.
He's never gonna not make a main event.
Oh, dude, Manny's saying that he doesn't know if Hunter's gonna make the main.
He better start going.
He's buried,
Dude, he's got 4 minutes to get past just a bunch of riders right now. So
Yeah, but
I mean,
these guys aren't
theoretically, he
slouches.
should be able to.
yeah, I know. It's just no one's going slow. That's the thing, you know.
How do you guys feel about Freddie wearing the 22?
I don't like it.
Yeah, what's that about?
Chad can't
Reed's
keep it
career
anymore.
number is over.
Yeah.
So like, did Freddie? Did he get like decent enough points last year to be able to get 22?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's feeling a little. That's weird to me. I love Freddie. Freddie, great dude. But yeah, it's weird not seeing it on Reed. We should be able to retire some numbers, huh?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Like I feel like it's weird, but I mean it's got to, eventually it's got to move on. But it is hard to get used to at first.
Who do you think's going to grab?
It won't be weird by next year.
After Ricky or after Baggett grabbed it from Ricky. Who do you think's going to get number 4 next?
Sexton's got it.
Yeah, Chase has it.
Sexton's got number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just number 1 right now, but yeah, he's number 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, am I like living under a rock? What is going on?
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at Cade's right on the bubble, man. Shout out to Team PRMX, man. Those guys have been crushing it, and they're such huge supporters of the program. Got a great sponsor in Partzilla, and I think we're going to do some cool stuff with those guys this year behind the camera and stuff in front of the camera. So shout out to Julian and what a great team that he's cultivated.
Shout
Dave,
out
do you
Dave
know
parking a guy?
Dave, do you know Dave Derringer? Double D?
Yes, MX Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you don't know him, I could. I know his team's kind of locked down, but I could. I was gonna say I could link you guys up and see if Collective could do something with them.
Oh, dude, yeah, we've been locked in with him for years, man. Yeah, he's a.
Oh, really?
He's a super good dude. Yeah, we've got a bunch of content touring their rigs and stuff over the years, and Dave's a good dude. We actually I lived not too far from him when I was in Wisconsin, so I'd see him at pretty much all the races.
Okay.
Yeah, such a good dude, man.
I've got a question. Where is Masterpool?
He's hurt.
Is he really?
Dave, have you not watched anything?
Dude, apparently not, man. Like
Chase is still number 23. Reed is still number 22
this whole time or something, man. I don't know.
No,
it's okay, Dave. I didn't realize that one either.
Okay.
That one just dropped. So I'll cut you guys some slack on that one. But yeah, know that he's hurt.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, no, I saw Clayson and I saw the number 81. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Dude,
Where's
Hunter's
Masterpool?
gonna be like last gate pick. He better hurry up.
Hunter's gonna have to park Cade in the last corner. It's gonna be sad.
Which I feel bad. Yeah, Cade's such a good dude.
I love Cade. He's so cool.
Oh, it's gonna be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Maybe Cade will catch Freddie.
It looks like he might.
Yeah, that's really his only. Oh my God!
I love Freddie too, man.
Hunter's gonna kill himself. That's fine. Cade's good.
He looks terrible, right?
Yeah.
Is it nerves?
He's probably riding hurt.
You think it's nerves, JJ? Like, what do you think it is?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit of nerves. Like, he's never really been in this situation before. Like, you know, he might crash in a heat race or something like that and might be on the bubble to make it into the heat race. But, you know, it's like, oh, I got an LCQ, you know, like I've got another chance after this. So I don't need to kill myself. But in this situation, like, he needs to go. And he, like I said, he's also probably riding hurt, maybe just sore, but he's definitely probably feeling that start crash right now.
Oh my!
I'm nervous.
What just happened?
Don't say anything, Grant.
You're ahead of me even.
Oh my God!
Don't
Grant's
say
got the cheater footage right
dude.
now, being like,
he's actually in a press box right now. He's
What
there.
did his pitboard
yeah.
say?
I'm here. Huh?
What did his pitboard say for
All out?
What? Oh no!
Jordan, hurry up.
Attaboy, Cade.
Fast forward.
No, I want to watch this.
Oh my goodness, that is wild.
Wow.
I'm getting there. All right, I'm getting there. Hill's just about to cross the finish line.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, I didn't have that one on the bingo
damn.
card.
Yeah, right.
wanna know
That's a
what's-
big one.
It's tragic too. He's on every fantasy team that I have.
I think he's on
That
everyone's.
sucks.
Boo.
Whoever had Cade in there, they're going to be AMs.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here's my class right here, dude.
I think they'd still beat you.
You know what sucks is like when I'm at the track and I've got a section dialed and stuff, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna work on technique, and a 65 just comes scrubbing right underneath me, and I'm like, you know what? I hate this sport.
Dude, I will never forget. I was at Rocky Hill one year, and I don't know who that. It was some white plate, right? Like, I don't know if it was a real expert. Just for everybody that doesn't know who I am, the best I ever did was a 6th place in a B Moto. Like, I'm not good, but I could rip at certain days. And I'm at Rocky Hill in Connecticut, and I'm battling this expert, and all of a sudden I hear this highest pitched 2-stroke come by my head. It was AJ on a 65. Like, just ripping. And I'm like, yep, my life's peaked. Like, my moto career's over. Like, it's
Dude,
so bad.
AJ was so fast on a 65 and an 80. It was stupid.
85, yeah.
And the thing is, like, we just did a podcast, and he was saying how suspiciously stock his bikes were. They were unbelievably stock. Dude, literally, no pipes. Like, literally, I think he might have had like a twin air filter and like aftermarket bars, but his bikes were completely stock.
Can we talk about how big the finish line is this weekend?
Thank you. Yes.
Holy crap.
Like a 450 seat bounce.
Probably as big as the triple after it. And not forgiving at all.
They're tossing some nice whips over it though.
Well, yeah, of course. They have to. That publicity, right? No, but the landing is so peaked.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Mr. Tyler Bowers. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I left you as a surprise for everybody so that they couldn't guess who's coming on. But
what a big treat.
Don't get you on, dude. I've been trying to do it for a little while, yeah?
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. It's awesome to be back on, talk to everybody, see everybody. I haven't seen a lot in a long time.
I know. It's been too long, dude. You forgot my birthday, by the way.
My bad. I've always been bad with birthdays. I
won't hold it against you, Tyler, but, you know.
Yeah,
I still love you and stuff, but, you know.
I just got the Facebook this year, and I've noticed it's pretty good at reminding you about having to say happy birthday.
Like
so I should be better.
15 years behind the ball tie.
I'm pretty far off, man.
Oh, that's too funny. So shout out to Mr. Tyler Bowers, multi-time arena cross champion. This dude's been crushing it, one of Mitch Payton's finest over the years. Tyler, stoked to get you on here. I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Miss you, buddy. Used to seeing your face every weekend. Just stoked to have you on, chatting some Supercross, chatting some industry inside tips. Myself and Josh were talking about like the good old days when like PC was like it. Like we would watch you for your heat races, and it was like, oh yeah, Bowers is going to win this heat, like for sure. Or Bowers is going to be podium or win. He's got a PC bike. Like for you being part of that era where PC was like the team to be on, what's it like to see them sort of like not really go away, but like not be like the number one team anymore? What's it been like to see that?
Man, to be honest, it's been a struggle with me for a long time because I honestly feel like I was right at the end of that. I don't know if I was past that era or like one of the very end of that era, because I remember, Weimer, Wilson, a couple guys like that that were really in the prime. Purcell, those guys, there was a little bit like you weren't beating PC bikes. It was just they were so much better. And then I remember around the time I ended up riding for PC, I rode for them as a fill-in one year, and they were still very, very competitive at the top. At that time, there was some other teams that were catching up, and then when I rode for PC for 2 years, 2015 and 2016, I believe, those 2 years they were still great, don't get me wrong, as they are now. They're still it's a really great team, really great bikes, really great program, but they're just not completely heads and tails in front of every other team out there now. There's some other teams that have really stepped up to the plate and have done their homework and put things together and put together good programs. So it's crazy. Like I said, I to see that era kind of come and go, and be even a small part of any of that, and then see where they're at now. I mean, Volan just won that heat race, so that was a good treat.
Yeah, I don't think any of us saw that coming. Number one, I figured Volan would take another year or two to kind of get that that consistency, that little that grown man racecraft, but to see him just make a color change like that and like do it on a bike that hasn't been winning that much. Yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling a little bit like 0506 right now,
Yeah. And I feel like from what I've seen over the last year of what people have commented is that people were disappointed in his performance over the last year, and like you said, to be able to switch brands and come to a new team, and then the very first race just come out and win a heat race right away like that and he looked good doing it. That was big.
I think so too. Yeah, it's pretty. To me, that's pretty rad. Tyler, you've done a numerous amount of A1s, over the years. Talk about some of the feelings that kind of like start rising up when you're on the gate at A1. Like, how was, from a rider's perspective, somebody that actually had a shot at doing really well and not just a fan behind the scenes like myself? What's the feeling like, when you're on the gate and you're at A1, you're racing these guys for the first time that season?
Man, it's crazy. There's a lot of hard work. Hard work's one thing, but a lot of sacrifice. I think that was the biggest thing for a lot of these guys. There's the holidays are, not long before, Anaheim 1, whether it be Christmas, even New Year's or Thanksgiving, all that comes into play, shortly before Anaheim 1 every year. And a lot of these guys, aren't from California or Florida or wherever, these teams have them at right now. So there's a lot of hard work, but mainly a lot of sacrifice that these boys have to make coming into this. There's many. The off season is definitely harder than the season. If you're doing your work right, when you're in the race season, it's easy. That's the fun part. You go racing every weekend. You have a consistent program every week. You might be building a little bit or just maintaining, but it's not that big of a deal. But the off season is crazy. That's when the grind is you're out there 4 or 5 times a week riding and training pretty much every day, and things start building up, and you don't really you know, it's really hard for these guys. So doing all that work and putting all that effort in and all that sacrifice, not just from the riders, but their families too, whether it be wives, girlfriends, you know, mom and dad, family, extended family, stuff like that. It's a lot of sacrifice for these guys. And then they get to A1 and you have all that pressure that I'm sure many of them put on themselves as young athletes. They, you know, they want to do good. They know the work they put in. They know the sacrifices themselves and their loved ones have made. And sitting on that gate sometimes, man, it's a lot, you know, sitting down there in the staging area during opening ceremonies, it's a lot. And for me, it was, man, I've had good Anaheims and I've had bad Anaheims, but it's always feels good once you get this one over with and everybody, all the riders they figure out where they're at on the totem pole here, and then they can move on and be like, okay, let's improve, or, you know, I'm okay where I'm at. But there's definitely a lot of nerves, and it's crazy, man. It's the biggest race of the year, essentially. You know, there's a packed crowd out there tonight, and it's very nerve wracking for these guys.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'd be pissing my pants right now.
Yeah. What I explained before too is what's hard is it's the same feeling whether you're winning or you're losing. You know, you put in just as much effort, you're just as nervous. Yeah. And you might get a main event win. You might be one of the many other guys that did not get the win, and sometimes it sucks, you know. But it's the same nerves, man. It's hard.
Yeah, that would make me cry, dude. I'm sorry. All that hard work and that. Yeah, I would go home crying. Yeah. Josh, you have to have a Tyler Bowers jersey somewhere in your collection.
Dude, I sponsored Tyler for
okay, good,
1 year.
Good, okay.
Yeah. What was
I hope so.
Was that 2019?
2019.
Yeah, I think it's 2019.
I sincerely hope so. I mean, I don't have one because Tyler doesn't love me like he used to, but it's all good.
You got a whole bike.
Okay. Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah,
dude, I still have the Cali, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Still have the kid. Dude, that thing is like very minty. If it wasn't for Tyler Bowers, I would not have a bike right now. So
yeah, it's solid.
He's got a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
that thing's minty. I was, by the way,
go ahead.
Not ready. You did not warn me that you had a particular map in that thing, dude. I literally got like wrist pump. I was trying to keep that front end down like every single corner. I'm like, I don't know what weird one-off map is in this thing, but I was like,
did it have a vortex ignition on or just stock ignition?
I think
is it black?
It had a vortex in there.
Is it a black or yellow box?
It was the yellow box.
Okay, it's got a vortex in there. Yeah, you made out good. I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, dude. I'll give it back. Dude, I should not be riding this thing.
That thing was throaty. Yeah, that was a good.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm like heavy too. I'm like, it'll be fine. Like, dude, I got my ass handed to me by that bike.
Yeah. It shouldn't have been much more aggressive. Just a lot cleaner. So you would have felt the power for sure. Yeah, it was there.
Yeah. I don't need any extra power. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Those things are so freaking fast.
I was gonna ask Josh that you sponsored me for Southwick. Wasn't that the one where I had to drain my lat muscle? We were like trying to figure all that out.
Yeah, my wife and I came into your rig after the race. He showed us he had this, what was it, like under your shoulder or something?
Yeah, it was my lat muscle. So basically in my
armpit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I thought
we go in, he was draining it like with this massive vial.
Yeah.
It was gnarly.
Yeah, I thought I ran myself over the week before. It was actually a couple weeks before, and I developed what I thought was a hematoma, which is basically a really bad bruise, and it's just a pocket of blood and nastiness. And so we were trying to drain it, and we did get some fluid out of it, but it was I went to the Astros rig and they tried to drain it, and the guys came over, and it was a whole deal, but it wasn't going well. And come to find out the next week, I was like, all right, something's going on here. So I went and got an MRI, and the muscle was torn, and the muscle had like balled up on itself. So I've been stabbing it with needles, trying to get fluid out of it. And it was just a torn muscle. I was like, all right, sweet. Cool. Yeah. And stuff like that. That's, what these guys are dealing with at Anaheim. There's not everybody doesn't get to hear everything that happens in the off season. A lot of these guys hit the ground this week, 2 weeks ago, or during the off season. A lot of these guys are not 100%. In fact, almost no one on the starting line tonight is 100%. They're dealing with a lot of stuff out there, like all the sacrifice coming into it, and injuries and pain, and there's a lot going on out there tonight that not everybody gets to see.
Yeah. We were talking to JJ a little earlier about Ballmer and like how he's out front, the transition from going from like AMs to pro. And
Crazy.
like, that's one that you made, Tyler. So it's really only you and JJ and Grant. You got your pro license now too, Grant. But it's like it's really insane to think that you go from the amateur ranks to your first race, whole shot lead your the heat race, and now he's out front on a factory bike leading the A1 for the 250s. Like, what do you think is going through his mind right now as he's making his way on the track?
Man, I hope not much besides, wow, this is awesome. You know what I mean? I remember, my when I got in Vegas in, I don't know, it was like 2012 maybe. I had a kind of a similar situation. I was an arena cross guy, and I filled in at PC for a little bit. And in a couple rounds, next thing I know, I found myself in the lead in a main event. And I was like, all right, sweet. Like, this is awesome. And it was all cool and it was all fun. And then the nerves started hitting. I started thinking, like, don't crash. Like, don't throw it away. Like, you're going to look like an idiot. You get that negative mindset kind of sets in, and the voices in your head are very loud out there on the track. I'll say that it's very hard to beat your voices in your head on the track. And luckily I was able to get to myself into a headset or a headspace where I said, you know what, dude, this is already awesome. You've led 8 laps, 9 laps, 10 laps, whatever it was. Like, who cares if you throw it away? This is just amazing as it is. And that's kind of what got me through it. So I'm hoping Ballmer is in that position, that headspace. I will say, just like you said, like how impressive it is to see him up front like that. But I wonder if this is a little bit of the what we will see in the future with the futures program. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit different than how I did it, and I'm sure JJ the same thing. We got just kind of thrown to the wolves. You're racing amateur racing, which is 6 lap races most of the time out in the field somewhere. You're camping out. It's like you wait all year to do this one race, and it's a short race and stuff. And then they throw you out there with these guys that race every weekend, and many of them are very, very experienced and know what they're doing and know what to expect. And it's a longer race, and it's more intense, and everybody out there was a champion at some point. You know what I mean? It was kind of like getting thrown to the wolves. But now with this futures program, a lot of these guys get to go out and run, the exact same, race day program that these guys get to race. They have to go, they have to do time qualifying out of practice, which is huge for many rookies to figure that out. They have to do heat races, they have to do main events, so maybe we're finally seeing what that looks like in the future.
That's actually a really cool way to look at it too. I mean, it's almost like a helpful, like a feeder class almost, to kind of get your feet wet. Because like you said, being thrown to the wolves is not fun. Obviously, yourself, you were successful at it. A few others. JJ's a pretty solid Supercross rider. She won't ever admit it. But we got to work on whoops. But your timing is really good. We got to work on whoops. Yeah. But in the past, we've seen a lot of kids, like that were touted as hopefuls, like the next best thing, get chewed up and spit out on that transition, because there really isn't a nice, easy thing, like a padded version of Supercross for you to go into to kind of get your feet wet. It's either you show up and do good, or buddy, you're losing the ride. You know what I mean? It's tough for a young guy,
Yeah. They move on quick too. Usually, just like you said, you show up and do good, or you lose the ride. You know what I mean? And it's you get a few races before sometimes they give up on you, and then you might be on the team for the rest of the year, but sometimes it's the ship has sailed already at that point, and then by the end of the year, a lot of these guys have already lost their ride, and they have to go make a name for themselves again. So it's cutthroat, man.
It's a tough.
Speaking of that, I don't know when I heard it, but they said it at some point. I think it's Bolin is only on a 1-year deal, so that might be why we're seeing a different side of Bowen come out, because this is realistically his probably last chance to make a name for himself with the actual factory teams before, they really just don't look at him the same way. But I think part of the reason we're seeing such a difference with like the younger kids coming up now, like Deegan and Bomer and all them and stuff like that. And I think my age group was kind of just at the beginning of it, but there's so many kids now that go to training facilities and stuff like that. It was not that common when Tyler was younger, or, even
Absolutely.
2010 when I was growing up. Back in the day, and I can say this because he's racing right now, I used to beat Nate Thrash on a Super Mini. Then we went to MTF, and here we are now. So getting to be that young and ride all the time, I went to public school. I graduated from public high school with pretty decent grades. So I only got to ride on the weekends. It makes an astronomical difference to be able to ride all day, every week, all year round, everything like that. And the bikes now are so much better. They're so much closer with speed and mechanics and all the, aftermarket goodies that come on every bike. They're so similar and so equal right out of the box. I think it makes it a lot more fair in that area. It's not all about, who has the most money, who can put the most into their bikes. So I think that's why we're seeing such a difference with so many young kids being able to compete with veterans that have been in this class forever. Because realistically, they have as much ride time as they do, probably.
It's kind of a good point. Yeah, I definitely
I think Jordan's absolutely right. That's a big difference. Like she said, there was, my generation, to get on a Supercross track, like a legit Supercross track at all, before you were training for A1 your first year, was very, very, very difficult to do. Basically, if you wanted to ride a Supercross, there was, I'm talking 2 or 3 private Supercross tracks in the whole U.S., and then there was the factory test tracks. It was definitely way more difficult, I think, to get your hands on Supercross. Nowadays, I've trained kids on Supercross on 65s on a legit Supercross track. Many of these kids go and live at facilities that have legit Supercross tracks, and they ride them quite often the whole time growing up. And it's not something that's really new to them anymore. It's definitely a big advantage compared to in the past. So you should see it. We shouldn't be surprised to see more riders that are race ready at this age, or their first year, because they really have all the tools. They have no excuses anymore. And as Jordan said too, and I think Jordan's training a little bit too. When you start working with riders, just the aspect of getting on a program where you're riding consistently, 3, 4, or 5 days a week, you're going to see big gains just from that alone. And a lot of these kids, like she said, live at training facilities, and this is their job from from when they're 12 years old until now. So, that was an interesting crash there. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place with where we are on the stream right now. So you'll see something probably before the rest of us.
Oh,
So,
we've established that I'm probably about a year behind everybody else.
Yeah. I think Ricky's still racing for her on TV. So
all right, cool. Yeah. I'll try not to spoil it then.
Oh, gee, I just saw it. So let me ask you and JJ this, Tyler. Is when you if you had to pick a coast to race on, which one was your favorite coast to race on, and for what reasons?
Man, it's weird. When I was younger, East Coast. I loved East Coast. When I was on 250, I loved East Coast. Honestly, in my head, my whole career, I thought I was an East Coast Supercross guy. I spent a few years on the West Coast, my PC days. I was a West Coast guy 1 year. Did East Coast the second year, and then obviously I was 450 the rest of the time. But West Coast grew on me. For example, Anaheim. I've done it my second year pro, I went to Anaheim on a 450. And, you know, I was kind of being stubborn, thinking I was an East Coast guy that grew up in Kentucky, and, you know, I like East Coast dirt and all this and that. So I was being stubborn there, and I thought I didn't like it because of the dirt, because it gets hard pack or whatever. But now, even watching it tonight, it's the dirt, you know, at Anaheim is just amazing. You know, it holds up well. It gets good ruts, but it's not like, they're not like crazy deep, you know, they get good lines in it, and they rut up. It gets pretty rough. Like Anaheim's kind of like perfect Supercross dirt. You know, there's a couple other venues on the East Coast that are also as well. And another thing that I found out is I'm really good at whoops. That's something that I've always worked hard at in my career, and I'm a taller guy, and I've always an advantage in the whoops. And the West Coast rounds the whoops hold up better. So, you know, for me, especially like a heavier guy in the lights class, the West Coast was better for me because the dirt didn't, you know, absorb as much power. It wasn't as soft, and the whoops held up better. So I could keep that advantage. You know, a lot of times on the East Coast, the whoops just get, you know, one or two big ruts in them, and everybody just it turns freeway through them. So, you know, I do like the West Coast, but there are things I really enjoy about the East Coast for sure.
If we're talking about motocross tracks, East Coast all day, every day.
Yeah.
I love High Point and Unadilla and
Definitely.
you know, all that stuff. I'll give the West Coast a little bit of credit with Colorado. I give it to them, but High Point is my favorite track by far. I love the ruts, the big jumps, and stuff like that. But for Supercross, I did not like riding West Coast for Supercross. I didn't really get to experience too much of the racing side of it, but for practice anyway, I did not like it pure the fact that you got 2 hours on it before the track was too dry and it's just not safe to ride anymore because it was just so dry. You just spun. And I didn't like paying $60, $70 or whatever that it cost me to ride for 2 hours. So I'd like to make it count.
Yeah, you talk. Yeah. At the.
Yeah, no,
right.
definitely East Coast.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have to ask me, Josh, or Grant, we're probably going to pick East Coast because we're just, you know, just stubborn New Englanders, man. Just stubborn.
It's all I've ever rode.
It's Southwick or nothing, man.
The West Coast motocross tracks were always they're interesting. Like Glen Helen absolutely sucks if you don't ride it all the time. But if you're there every Thursday, like if you go and stay in California for like 2 months and you ride Glen Helen every Thursday, Glen Helen's pretty cool once you get the hang of it. But if you're not riding there often and you don't have your bike set up for Glen Helen alone, you're gonna have a rough day, you know.
I smacked my face pretty good last time I was there practicing.
Yeah.
That one felt great.
I've never had like an itch to ride as Glen Helen. I've never got like.
You didn't want to go just.
No, and it's
doesn't seem like great.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
It's hard with all the people there.
Did everyone see the Kitchen Volin Red Cross thing yet?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, did they jump on it?
It's been a whole
I might be there right now.
Debatable that Kitchen might have jumped.
Yeah, one of them.
Kitchen landed where I don't know. That happened too quick. I think they'll probably give it to him.
Usually they have.
They probably won't do nothing.
But he passed Volin at the end of that straightaway. So it's like it's debatable, and he gained quite a bit of time.
I think you can pass after the last flag, wherever. So it depends on how many flags are out in that section, and then also you can jump in to the flag as long as there's not lights on before that. You know, if there was lights on the first jump, then they're screwed. You know. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Because Volin rolled to the flag as well, and Kitchen like doubled into it.
Well, you just wait till you Shimoda and Volin.
Oh, I'm seeing it right now. See, like right there, Shimoda started jumping. Like he jumped jump early, but I don't know what they're gonna do with that because it's tough.
Well, you can double on the yellow.
They got red crosses out.
Lights.
Yeah. No, the Red Cross.
It looks like there's only the one Red Cross.
Oh, dude, Shimoda's close
I
to the
don't know.
podium.
That right there
Shimoda's
is why we're
really
not
good.
AMA
Lord.
officials, so we don't have to make these calls.
Don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it. Don't worry, they don't know what they're
Exactly. No, they don't.
doing.
Shimoda is like, he's a second quicker a lap lately than Kitchen. He's like 2 seconds quicker than Smith.
This dude is on
he
it
getting-
right now. Holy crap. What do you guys think of Hampshire out front? Do you think this is going to be like a one-off deal, or do you think Hampshire will finally be able to get into a point where he's like a consistent top 1, top 2 guy and like nail a championship this year? What do you guys think?
I think
think
this
he-
is going to be his Christian Craig, Colt Nichols year,
Oh, you think so?
where like, yeah, he just puts it together. I think he's going to, whether he wins the title or not, I think he's going to be there till the end.
Oh.
I just think he crashes way too much.
Yeah.
He does,
And-
but I feel like he's got a lot of pressure off him. You know, last year he had, you know, Jed or Hunter, I don't remember what coast he was on, and you know they're obviously huge names. So coming into it, he's like, oh, you know, I got to deal with these people, and you know, half the field which is on Star apparently. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see as many mistakes out of him this year. But we'll see if Shimoda can get his starts figured out, because then we might.
So you've raced him quite a bit, Tyler, here and there. What do you think the biggest Achilles heel for that guy is for Hampshire?
I think we all know. You know, I told RJ I was pretty well established in arena cross when he came through. They started doing the road to Supercross is what they called it at the time, and RJ came through at Reno Arena Cross, which was a big arena cross, kind of like a Supercross, and he was hauling. Man, he was so fast in practice. Was pretty fast in the heats, pretty fast in the main the first night, but he couldn't keep it up. I mean, he crashed all day long, you know, on Friday night. Definitely had the potential to be up there on the podium, but just couldn't keep it off the ground. And I remember telling him, he was at the time, you know, he was a little bit younger, and I'm like, man, you can't win if you're laying on the ground. And you know, we laughed about it and we talked about it numerous times after that during his career. RJ is a pretty good friend of mine, and that's definitely his Achilles heel. For some reason, RJ is on the ground. You know, I don't know why. The speed's there, the skill's there. Even when RJ looks like he's in control, somehow he ends up on the ground. You know, it's hard. So that's RJ's Achilles heel is staying up. You know, and if he can do that, he'll definitely. I think he can win this championship easy.
And I feel like you said, like when he's, you know, when he looks in control, and I feel like very rarely does he look in control. Watching him from the outside. I mean, it's just my opinion, but I feel like that plays a big part in it. Is just like his style or technique is just like
Loose.
I don't know what it is, but it's just loose, and it's not always like pretty to watch. And I just feel like that plays a big part in the mistakes that he makes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it could have nothing to do with it or whatever, but that's, you know, that's just something that I've always noticed just watching him, is like it just looks like he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I can definitely.
Oh, did Dave freeze again?
Oh, Dave's internet quit again.
He gave me all that shit. Yeah, you gave me all this shit
Did I?
for my Wi-Fi not working earlier. Oh, there he goes again.
This guy.
Unreal.
I'm
But,
super bummed about Nate.
Yeah, me too.
He's hurt.
Yeah. It looked like he was
that
holding
off the
his
start?
elbow.
Was it off the start?
No, he was
What's
the
that?
one that crashed off the hip
No.
jump.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
He got a kick off the hip jump, and it like high sided him into the concrete. Well, the start line, which is as hard as concrete.
Yeah.
He hit that
was
like
definitely-
rut that was on the face of it.
Mm-hmm.
He looked so good last year at Atlanta, and then just weeded himself in the whoops.
That's a tough one.
I don't know. Shout out to everyone in the chat again. Let's see. We got a couple questions. What does the group think about the fact that they're stopping points at the 20th place instead of 21st?
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to do that because it's the same in motocross. Like they only give points out to the top 20. I think it would be cool if they gave it out to, all of them, at least in Supercross, because it is so hard to make it into a main event. I don't know though. I feel like they should stay consistent. It would be cool for them to give them out to everybody, but I feel like they should stay consistent just to make it easier.
I saw a thing. I think it was like $400 purse money, like between like fifth in the LCQ and like last in the main, and it might have been Paul. I don't know. It was one of someone wrote an article on it, but it was like where like they go through all that like 20 minutes for like an extra $400, which when you put it that way, it's like that makes no sense. Like they deserve a point. But yeah, I mean, then what do you do? Go back to like 20 guys in a main, or like so it's kind of tough if you're trying to keep it consistent. Like you could take only 20 and then you eliminate those last two, or do you have 22 on the gate and only pay points to 20th? I don't know. It's like
I was talking
tough
to
either way.
It might have been Tony Alessi. I don't remember. It might have been Mike. But last year when I was getting ready for Supercross myself, well, for the one Supercross anyway, they were telling me, they're like, you just got to make it in a one night show, and then once you do that, go to 450s. Like you don't even have to ride a 450. You can still ride a 250, but just go to the 450 class. And I was like, okay, why is that? And they're like, the pay difference is ridiculous. Like to get fourth in the LCQ in the 450. I don't remember if it was fourth in the LCQ or last in the main event or whatever. Might have been fourth, but fourth in the LCQ pays more than 15th in the 250 main.
Jeez.
Or something like that. I don't remember. He's like, that might not be the way anymore because it's been a while since Mike has raced Supercross. But it's like, that is wild that it's that big of a difference. You make it into a Supercross night show, you're thinking, I'm going to make some decent money. This is like the premier side of things. Yeah, Tyler knows. He's shaking his heart hard.
He's like, no.
Yeah, I remember my first race. I came from the amateur ranks and went pro, and I got fifth in Atlanta Supercross, 2008, I think it was, and I was all pumped, waiting for that check to come in the mail. You know what I mean? The Feld check. And it came, and it was like $400, and I was like, what? What? And since then it's gotten a lot better, I will say that, but I was just like, what? I could make more money
with $400.
Yeah, make more money than this at the Hillbilly Arena Cross on the corner, like
exactly.
It was pretty rough at the time,
Oh my goodness. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I liked everyone getting a point, especially because they made the transition from 21 and 22 not having it. They made the jump to getting it. I feel like it's regressing going back.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think they're trying so hard to keep Supercross and motocross uniform. Everyone knows it's two different animals. You got 40 guys on the gate, 22 right off the bat. It's not going to be the same thing. So I feel like if you make the main, you should get a point.
Yeah,
I agree. I definitely agree with that one.
We'll tell your buddies at Feld to change it back.
Yeah.
So So if you want like year 4, everyone in the main getting a point, would you rather them go back to paying points back to 22nd, or if they're trying to keep it top 20 of outdoors and Supercross getting a point, would you rather them go back to 20 guys in the main instead of 22? What would you do?
22, but I like the fact that they had first getting 26. I thought it was
so
good the way it was.
So
Yeah,
you
like,
go not the
it's
same outdoors and indoors, different point
it's
system.
so hard to win a race. I feel like
Yep.
you should get
Yeah.
more than just 2 more points, or what is it, 3 points?
Yeah.
Than set. Like, I feel like there should be more of a bonus.
Yeah, and you gotta be able to be willing to take that. There needs to be a big carrot dangling in front of you for you to be like, okay, I'm a second or third place guy right now. I gotta, I could call it in safe and just, finish second or third and collect my points and move on, or I could hang it loose and gain those extra 3 points or whatever it is.
Right.
I think for sure first should be a good gap. Obviously the first and second it's a gap, and then down to the getting on the podium is a gap too, and there's a reason for that, because those are riskier positions, man. You gotta want it to be there. Be willing to take that big risk and go for it. And how about this? Why not just pay back they're just points. It's not like they're paying in actual monies out of their pocket. Why don't they just pay back 2 more positions than outdoors? Like, hey, let's just pay the 22nd in outdoors in points. Like,
Yeah,
how hard
right?
True.
Yeah.
like, okay.
When
But,
you put it like that,
I don't
it makes sense. It's simple.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's.
I don't get it. I really, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
The only.
Sorry, go ahead, Grant.
I was gonna say the only reason I feel like it'd be good to pay like the same amount of points for indoors and outdoors is for like the average fan. It's easier just to remember like 1 point system for year round, which then it would make sense to do the Supercross point system and just pay the same amount in outdoors like that. I feel like that would make probably the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like
but
Tyler said.
to that point, the average fan just wants to see if Deegan and Jet are going to win.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
They don't know. They don't understand the.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a little bit more than the average fan, but it's, I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's easier to like for 1 point system for the whole sport. And then no matter if they're indoor, outdoors, or the, what do they call it? The SMX playoffs. It's like, it's the same point system either way. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And to that same notion, do you think, Ty, will ever see a actual riders union form where we can start to put these things in action and implement a lot of what the things that people are requesting?
Man, I really wish. Unfortunately, from my experience, we've come close a couple times, but the problem is there's too many guys that are willing to just be in the show to be in the show. You know what I mean? It's a dream for a lot of guys, and to make some moves and get some things done, a lot of times you have to maybe sit out a race or something. And unfortunately, it's there's just too many people that are, oh, I'll race tonight if you give me the bike. Like they just want to be that guy. There's I think and I've experienced it many times. There's just too many guys that are willing to do it for nothing, willing to risk their life for nothing, just to be the cool guy in the sport, or be able to tell their friends this is what they do, or something like that.
That's tough. That's definitely a tough one. Well, hopefully something can be done and people can get their stuff together.
I will say Feld is not as most of the management at Feld is. They're willing to work with riders. You know what I mean? There's ideas to be thrown around. I think if there's going to be any changes that actually take place, it needs to be the fans, or not the fans. I'm sorry, the teams. Or it needs to be almost a team union. That would probably be the most logical next step, is like teams banding together and start voicing their opinion on things, and which I think has already happened a bit. I know they have a lot of meetings and there's a lot of talks and a lot of pressure from manufacturers and teams to do certain things or not do certain things. change that are not happy with something. I think honestly getting rid of FIM was a big step in the right direction as well. That was huge. A lot of people weren't happy with dealing with them. So I think Feld is a little bit more open-minded than a lot of people lead them on to being. Obviously, we're all trying to grow the sport. We're all in the same boat here. If we can make everybody happy and keep moving forward, we're all going to make more money. So, I see people badmouth Feld a lot, like they really badmouth Feld, and they're definitely not perfect by any means. But from my experience working with like Mike Mewey, I was in Arena Cross when Mike Mewey came to Arena Cross for Feld back in the day. And now he's the production manager in Supercross now too. So we worked together back then, and then I've worked with him in Supercross too. And he will listen to the rider and try to make you happy. So that they're open minded. I just think there's such a gap between riders and the promoter. Still like they're two. They don't really hang out. They don't rub elbows. Nobody really talks to each other that much. Everybody gets the race. They're busy doing their thing. Everybody's focused on their thing, and there's not a lot of talking and bonding, honestly, going on. So I think, like I said, the logical next step would be the teams. They have a little bit more power over the riders, and they probably have more power over Feld as well because they technically have more power over the riders. So if the teams can really kind of union together or bond together, I think we can make progress.
Hopefully we'll see it. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough position to be put in for the riders and stuff. Like you said, living your dream, but also want to do it safely and get what you think you're owed, which they're rightfully owed, and monetarily, and just the thought of their safety and the effort put in. I'm hoping something can happen and we can get to a point where all the riders really feel like they're being compensated fairly for what they do, because it's essentially you're right, risking your lives and putting on a good show for all of us. And and I'm sure a lot of the fans will be behind something that keeps the riders happy and healthy and with some longevity to their career, make it feel like it's worth it to show up on the weekends. I think that'd be a huge plus. And like you said, making money. Who doesn't like making money? Keeps them in the sport, keeps the economy of racing going, and it just makes it for a better all around sport. So I'm all for it, and especially helping the rider behind the scenes and all that other stuff.
I mean, I will say it's there, like even from when I raced till now with this SMX thing and how much more money there is going around now. Like, I'm actually pissed because when I was racing, like it wasn't that good, and then that, like, I stepped away, and a year or two later, there's a whole nother series that comes about. Then all of a sudden, the AMA Supercross series finds another 10 million laying around that they can give out in purse money, and I'm like, what the heck? So, it's there. It's just about figuring out. I think a big problem is a lot of the riders don't know their worth. There's a lot of guys don't know what they should be making for risking what they risk out there every day. Like there's best, paralyzation. You can die. It's real. Like there's a real risk of that every time that gate drops. And I think a lot of these guys don't understand. We put it out of our head. There's that risk is very high. And we deserve to be compensated for that, and how small of a percentage of people can do what these guys do. Like how many people can go through just whoops, for example, skim across the top of a set of whoops. You know what I mean?
I tried. It didn't go too good, Tyler.
It's tricky, and I think a lot of these riders don't know how rare they actually are, and they don't know their worth. I really don't. I've seen it run into problems, with riders signing with teams too. There's guys that are I've seen very, 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 very talented riders riding for free or bringing a sponsor on to pay for their ride. And I'm like, dude, if anybody should be getting paid, it should be you. But now because you're riding for free, it brings everybody else's worth down. I just think that a lot of these guys don't know their worth. Did we lose Dave again?
I think so.
There he is.
Oh, he's back.
He's on it.
Here we go.
You got to talk to your dial-up provider, man.
I'm working on it.
You guys think Jet's going to be the first person to win his first 450 race?
Man, I hope so. That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool,
That's
but I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's too stacked, man.
we didn't talk about it. What about did you guys get to see Hunter yet?
Yeah, we
We're
talked
not
about
gonna.
it.
We're done with seeing Hunter.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's what I mean. But I know you guys are delayed.
That's
But like,
crazy. That's
Not
crazy.
that
to me.
delayed.
wow, what an upset,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for Cade though. I mean, he cut to the inside, protected the inside, and got the spot. That's
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. Good for him.
Yeah, he did everything he was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just Hunter was in positions he shouldn't have been in a couple times tonight. And a little bit bad luck, but at the same time, don't be there.
Yeah, those starts were.
Yeah,
taken-
there's no excuse for a last place start in an LCQ at that level.
At that level. Yeah, absolutely.
on that bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's gnarly. So Tyler, let me ask you this: how many times did Mathis try to convince you to come back?
I did never. Honestly,
Really?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him much, man. I've been cool like a cucumber off the radar here. You know what I mean? People try to talk me into coming back. I would. It's just the pack hasn't been there. Like we talked about, we're risking our life out there, and it's a lot of work, man. Like you can't just okay, I'm gonna get ready and do this one race. If you're gonna get ready, it takes so long to get ready to be at that level and actually compete at that level that you might as well do them all. And
Right.
and all that support together and stuff is crazy. And to do that, but get paid less than you would to do literally any other job in the world is like a little risky, Like, and I love it. Trust me, like I'm passionate about it. I'd way rather go ride dirt bikes than do anything else in the world. But like when you break your leg and you're trying to like parent with a broken leg, I've got a daughter now, and it's trying to chase a 6-year-old around with a broken leg is not very fun. So, it's I had to really think about that.
Have you ever thought about like going to like doing a different series like the SMX or the whatever that one out of World Supercross or like the Canadian series or any of that?
Yeah, definitely. I actually did. I did the German series last year again.
Oh right, yep.
Yeah, it was the first year they had it again. Man, I had such bad luck. The first round, we had some bike problems. Both races, both main events. Clutch seal went out one main event, so just crap stuff. And then the second round, they only did 2 rounds this last year. The second round, the airline lost my gear bag and all the suspension on the way. So,
oh my god.
Like borrow some gear, and then we got some suspension thrown together. By the third night of racing, I had a decent setup and was kind of putting it together. But it was a mess. It took me like 3 weeks.
That
4
sucks.
Stuff back when I got back home. So I did that. We talked about doing it again this season. It wasn't going to work out for me. How much I had been riding and stuff. I was like, man, I don't think it's a good decision for me to go. But I am doing, there's a new series in India. There's a little 3-race series in India starting this year. And they open what they call the rider auction tomorrow, actually. So I'm going to do a small 3-race series in India. Actually, I wouldn't call it small. It's just a short series. So the last round is the end of this month. I think January 28th is the first round. I mean, it's at the end of this month, and then they have 2 rounds in February. So I am doing some other small series like that. Putting some stuff together, going
nice.
Good luck with that, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Sure. Yeah, I need more laps in for sure, but it's
Indian food, man. I'm a huge nerd for that stuff, dude. I love that stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had. I have had some Indian food a long time ago. I don't know if it was it or not, but I'm excited. This is a place. It's not that I never wanted to go to India. I just had never even considered it. You know what I mean? And it came up.
Radar.
Yeah. This is heck yeah. I can go to India. This is pretty cool. There's a lot of culture there.
That's super rad. So speaking of bike parts, which maybe it's PC, maybe it's not. Which of the bikes that you've raced in your pro career has been your favorite, and like what specific piece on that bike like really stood out for you?
Man, I really liked So my first full year at PC when I was number 911, so it was 2015, I believe. We did really good with that bike that year, but that was the first year I'd ever like really been healthy and the cards had aligned right. And I say that, but I actually had to get back surgery. I was supposed to have back surgery before the beginning of the season, but I pushed it off to the end of the season. So, but that was the first year I really got to put, 2 or 3 months of actual hard work, and things were going, I was on a program and things were going smooth. And I was on this factory team for numerous months where we were able to put in all this testing and work and get things ready. I really gelled with that bike. I don't know if there was anything particularly that stood out with that. We had a really good package all around. I enjoy testing. And that year I did a lot of the testing with the team, suspension, chassis, and engine testing. We put together a really good package, and it wasn't like one day somebody showed up with this new, chassis part or suspension part, and that was, oh, this is so much better, and that's it. That's the only change we made. And so it's hard to put your finger on it because there were so many little changes that happened over the course of months that made that bike good. So I really liked that bike. I gelled with it. I really liked the years I'd filled in with factory Kawasaki. I really liked that bike. The problem with that is every time I did that, I was a fill-in. I'd started the year as a privateer and with some support from Kawasaki behind the scenes, and I was kind of like, I was getting like the scraps and the leftovers, and they took really good care of me. And they for being a privateer, I was very, very lucky. And then when I'd filled in for them, the bikes felt so good, mostly because of suspension. That was big. Suspension on those works factory bikes are 450s. They're next level, man. It's just a different feel. Some of these bikes, I can just feel it now as we talk about it. It almost feels like in the turns, it almost feels heavy. Not it's like it's glued to the ground.
Planted,
and heavy. Yeah, very planted. Yeah, very planted feel. And it didn't get upset much. You didn't hit bumps and beat you up, and you didn't slide out a lot. You didn't lose the front end a lot. So it was a very good planted feel. That was big for me. It's the suspension and the chassis on these bikes are so much better.
Gotcha. How about for you, JJ? What bikes in your pro career has been your favorite so far?
Say that again.
Are you sleeping?
How's that? What?
Which bike in your pro career has been your favorite, Jordan? My goodness.
Sorry, gosh.
What? Who? What?
Probably my Yamaha that I had, not this year, but the previous year. That was the first real time I ever had an A kit before, suspension. And believe me, did it feel very nice. It was just a good package. The motor was good. The suspension was good. I never got to race it, but I would have loved to have gotten a chance to race a Honda. I got a Honda when they first revamped it, and I honestly love that bike. If I had to pick, like a second favorite bike other than Yamaha, it would definitely be Honda by far. I would love to get a chance to ride a built someday. Mine was bone stock. I couldn't even get a pipe for it yet because they were that new. Jeez. But yeah, my Yamaha that I had 2 years ago was a pretty solid bike.
What about your practice bike from the Unadilla race day this year? With your new trick motor.
That motor is still in my race bike at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we love that. That was great.
That was a good morning.
Not even morning. That was 2 days because you weren't even there for the Friday portion of it.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't your dad, and I felt like I was there. The emotion he brought to that story made me feel like I was there.
Oh yeah.
That's funny. Speaking of being there, if you're listening,
you
watching
remember
the watch party, you can be live and up close and personal with some of your favorite riders with the collective experience at the Collective Gigs on Instagram. Hang out with top riders like JJ, Jordan Jarvis, Cade Clayson, AJ Catanzaro, Kevin Morans, and so many more. Check out our cool fan experience program as well as our internship program. Grant has been one of our successful alumni, and also Tyler Bowers has been one of the great support of the program over the years, helping usher many interns into their career in the industry. We want to help you as well. The collectivexp.com. Help out riders and mechanic support, videography, team management, you name it. We're here to help support you. And all of the money that we raise goes right back to the privateers. So it's not just me feeding my fat ass, even though I probably should. It's going back to the riders and helping the people that really, really need it in our sport. And it keeps the great circle going. So check us out at thecollectivexp.com. So we are about halfway through this moto, this main event, and we got Jet Lawrence out front. Kind of turned around that weird start he had in the beginning of his first heat race. When you look at somebody like Jet Lawrence, I'll start with you, Josh. What do you think it makes the difference? I mean, obviously everyone out there is fast; they know what they're doing. What about Jet sets him apart? How is he so young and able just to gap all these guys in his first 450 Supercross?
Confidence. I think he just goes out there expecting to win. Doesn't matter that it's his first race. He knows. He knows he's the man already. I feel like he knew this probably 2 years ago, and he's just been planning this move up this whole time, and they don't scare him. Like, I feel like when a lot of these guys, they move up, Hunter showed like he had the nerves, right? Like, that was his first race. You could tell. Jet goes out, and obviously he's raced the 450 before, but A1, it's different. I feel like that dude does not get bothered by the hype, the nerves, the moment. It doesn't faze him at all. Before we pass it on, this earbud's already died. This one's beeping in my ear, and my phone's at 10%. So there's a good chance I'm gonna die before the end of this moto.
No worries.
So if that happens, if that does happen, yeah, I want to say, Dave, thanks for having me on. You had to beg me to get me on here.
I did.
You did. So no, it was cool. Thank you for having me on. Tyler, cool to see you for the first time in probably 4 years. Jordan, we've never met. Cool to meet you, and Grant, you as well. You want to plug my IG real quick, Dave? You're really good at that.
Plug all.
No, you do it.
I encourage.
You're the man.
You're the man.
I encourage everybody to check out Always Believing on Instagram, dude. Josh's collection is out freaking outrageous. You saw me get amped over his JS7 rookie season jersey. Don't know how you got that. I don't even think Stu has one of those. So shouts out to you. But yeah, go ahead, man. What else you got going on Instagram? Where can we follow along with you more?
Yeah, Always Believe 331. That's my old number. Always Believe. Some people ask me, like, what is that from? And I'll post random other things from my life. And Always Believe was the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler. That was his catchphrase. So that's where that came from. I did tell you I was going to bring something that I got today in the mail that I haven't even posted yet.
Yes. What is it?
Daytona 2001 Jeremy McGrath jersey.
Dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't his best race. I think he got like 6th or something. But he only wore that jersey once. So, yeah, I found that one and just came in the mail today. I was pretty excited about that.
I don't know how you do this. That is outrageous.
See, I told you. You say that every time. Every time. Whether it's on this or in person. I don't know how you do it.
That's it. You should not have these jerseys. Those guys don't even have those jerseys. My God.
So I will say, every time I go to like get it signed or anything like that, and the rider themselves shows interest in it, I always offer it back. Whether I traded for it, bought it, they gave it to me, doesn't matter. Like, I always offer it. It's just, I feel like it's the right thing to do. I've been blessed with a lot of, gifts, I guess you could say, right? Tyler, you've given me some. If you ever want a jersey back, let me know. I got you. But when I offer it back, it kind of shows them like, hey, I genuinely appreciate it, but I understand it's yours. So I've never had someone take me up on the offer, except Ricky Carmichael almost did with the Seabiscuit kit. He's like, yeah, I want it. And then he's like, DM me and maybe we'll work out a trade. And I was like, I literally called him out. I was like, you're not going to respond to my DM. He did. We just haven't worked out a trade yet. And I'm not going to beg him to trade me. Like, if he really wants it, you come to me. But yeah, so yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Dude, your collection is second to none. I encourage everybody, please get out there and follow Josh's page, man. It's got some cool stuff. And he's just an all-around good dude. Always a smile on his face. He needs to get to some more damn races. But until then, just everyone just DM him, just spam him, tell him to get to some more races, please.
I'll be at Gillette. For sure.
Okay. That's a start, but
that's a start. Gillette, Southwick, and Unadilla.
All the ones that are local.
All the local ones. I'll be there.
Oh my gosh. I guess so. Grant, I'll put the question over to you, man. What's the differentiator in Jet Lawrence versus the rest of the crowd, dude? I mean, 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds, kind of in that realm. What's he doing?
Yeah. So just like in terms of like his racecraft, if you watch him, he's just like, he stays a little bit lower than everybody else, and like I feel like when he lands on the gas and just holds it on for like an extra like 3 feet, if that. But doing that into every corner, every section, it like you slowly, obviously it adds up. And like if you're watching, he doesn't get it every lap, but like into the sand, he can kind of like pre-hop and double into the sand, and it looks like that gets him like a half a bike length every lap. But it just, yeah, he's just better at carrying momentum, like keeping his feet on the pegs and just like, whereas like you watch some of the other guys and like just maybe 1 or 2 corners a lap, like everyone else looks just a little bit notchy, but like you're at a different point in time, but right there you can see he doubles in, and then and Cooper Webb like just kind of wheelie and like bulldog their way through the sand, and Jet, like you can tell that saves energy and it's a little bit quicker, and just doing that every lap throughout the race, that's where he's making time like that.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's very interesting. We've got 3 minutes left in the race. Anderson, Webb, followed by Sexton and Plessinger. Kind of surprised that Tomac is back so far, especially Roxon and Mookie, man. Those 2 dudes I figured would have a really good showing. I put my money on Roxon to win.
They went down on the start.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I'm definitely out of some cash because he is not going to win, so I'll be eating ramen.
Yeah, I'm getting hosed in fantasy right now.
Yeah, dude, I can't even make my picks. For some reason I got to talk to Marks, dude, because my whole thing like would not reset. So for whatever reason.
Honestly, this might be good that Webb just got around. I don't know if you guys are here yet, but Webb just got around Anderson finally.
Yeah, that was a good pass, but yeah, he just undid it.
It looked like Anderson was kind of holding him up a little bit. Anderson is definitely significantly slower than Webb and Lawrence in the sand for whatever reason. He doesn't have the line through there. And I was thinking once Webb got around him, he could kind of.
I don't know if it's just me, but it looked like a couple laps in a row, Jason, it's like his bike started to swap pretty bad in the sand, and it looks like he just kind of backed it off like 5% through the sand, and he's just not.
Ooh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God. I'm not sure if that's what you saw, but I kind of noticed that a little bit.
Oh,
but now he's definitely trying to push it.
Just wait.
Yeah.
And of course, freaking, it's all there jockeying back and forth and battling is allowing Jet to pull away a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at Prado back in 13th. I thought he'd do a lot worse than 13th.
Did he just catch false neutral, Tyler? What just happened?
I didn't really pay attention to that. Next thing I know, he was upside down. Let's see. Here it is. Oh, there's a little kicker on the lip of that for sure. He had a kicker somehow. Yeah. I think he was crossing the rut and then hit a kicker on it, crossing the rut. That could have been really nasty. Yeah. Dave's so far behind.
I could have been farther.
Tyler and I've seen 2 replays and Dave just saw it.
Yeah.
I just got to the part where Cooper's are passing Anderson.
Oh my God. This gets juicy. Man,
it gets good.
Dude.
Yeah. And now Anderson's gonna back it down from that. He's just probably chilling now in second.
That's like the third person that little hip jump is taking down.
Yeah. It's got to have a little
that
kicker.
hip jump's goofy. It's super dry on the face of it, so they're just getting a ton of wheel spin. Yeah, and when you hit a kicker like that, you have no power to the ground. You just go where the kicker went.
Especially when you're turning and you hit a kicker too.
And it's a short face also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That doesn't help at all.
Oof.
Sheesh. So like, all 14-year-old girls around the world are going to scream their face off when Jet Lawrence wins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how
he
about
rode through the pits at MetLife last year? There were girls pulling their hair out as he rode by. I'm like, what the? Are you really? Like, dude, they were screaming like he was a rock star.
Dave was pretty jealous. It was hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I would love to have that happen to me.
Yeah, bunch of 14-year-old girls
is going crazy because Dave Drake's is driving by, you know.
Webb was super slow to pick his bike up. Like he got over to his bike fairly quickly, but then just took a bit to actually get it up.
Yeah,
I think he rung his bell pretty good on that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did. That dirt's hard right there.
Yeah, it's start line. It's like an inch of dirt over concrete.
I got KO'd on the start one year here. It was fun.
Really?
Yeah, it was. They had They had these 2 big doubles. It wasn't on the start. I landed up on the start, but it wasn't off the start, we should say. They had like 2 big doubles there, and it was a mud race, and I hit pretty hard, and I got knocked out.
Was it like 2019?
Yeah, I think it was 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I rang my bell, got up, and I finished the moto, but like I don't remember any of it. It was crazy. I shouldn't have done it. But like I used to say, I told my mechanic at the time. He's like, "Well, why would you do that then?" I was like, "Well, I hit my head. I wasn't like making good decisions anymore." It's not really
Why'd you let me get on the bike?
Yeah, why'd you let me get on the bike, dude?
Yeah. Who was that? Was that Chaz?
That year was Donk. Yeah.
Donk. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because Chaz never did Chaz was too scared to do the West Coast races. He never wanted to go hang out there.
Can't blame him.
Yeah, he liked the snow too much, I guess.
Dude, yeah. Tyler, I lived up there, Wisconsin. He was like 5 hours like north of me, even
further than that.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, come ride. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to pack a winter suit in summer, man. I'm good.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I love you. Don't want to go all the way up there.
No, yeah.
Oh man.
This is a Christian Craig's
A1,
been
man. Nothing
out
too crazy
of this race since the very beginning.
I think he wadded in the first straightaway.
His onesie didn't save him. Also,
I was just gonna say, hey, that's the speed suit got a point. You got a point.
Tyler,
also,
we were asking Jordan if she would or we asked the whole group if we would wear one. What would it take for you to wear one of those speed suits, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can get in one.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think I could do it.
Dude, I told JJ I'd be distracting the whole pit area, dude, with my big fat ass and thick thighs. Yeah, dude, man. I'd be having everybody drooling.
They'd be asking you to be the new card girl.
Oh, they definitely would, dude.
Yeah.
No, but also, Benny didn't show up for the LCQ. Benny Bloss.
Yeah, what happened with the betas?
I don't know.
Yeah, he rode off the track during the heat race. I don't know if he had a bike problem or what, or if he just was done. But I saw he was in the back of the shots with his mechanic on the back of the bike in the heat race.
What do you think of those new betas, Tyler?
You know,
I think they have
been working with KYB. You know, I think they have
a lot of potential, and I'm super happy that they have a whole nother team is, you know, in chase now or in the series. I think it's big.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, I was bummed out seeing Colt get hurt again. And seeing Benny on the team, you know, I think Benny can do really good. You know, Benny, when Benny's on, he's actually pretty hard to beat. So, you know, if right, it can go well. What is hard is I don't know a whole lot about their management or what's going on behind the scenes. But you know, being a new team, that if you don't have guys that have the wisdom and the experience, like you can. Oh man, that was a stupid little part that we didn't, you know, fix or wire tie or whatever that just took us out of the whole night. So, hopefully,
if it's a new team with like new management,
it can get ugly quick. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how big your budget is.
Yeah, but because it's like you can have a new team, but if you have people experience, you know, you won't miss the little things like Tyler's saying. But yeah, if it's a new manager, new staff on the team, then yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely agree with that one. Well, boys and girls, we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been an awesome TCE Supercross A1 watch party. I gotta thank all my guests. I gotta thank Mr. Moto Academy himself, Grant Eckardt, for coming on and doing some great things. Super excited, super stoked that
thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, buddy. Also super stoked to have on Mr. Always Believe, the Josh Gagnon himself, Mr. Moto Curator, Jersey King, the whole deal. Thank you so much, sir. Can't forget one of my favorite people in the world, JJ Jordan Jarvis, for blessing us with her wonderful presence. We're gonna have her on a lot more and do some cool stuff. And as always, big dog himself, Tyler Bowers, the Bear. Appreciate you, brother. Great to hear from you. We'll definitely have to have you on again. Guys, don't forget, we're going to be doing these things just about every weekend that we're not at the races. If you want to be behind the scenes and be an industry insider like my wonderful guest, thecollectivexp.com is a way and your ticket in. Be sure to check it out if you have a huge interest in going behind the scenes, having all access, and living your dream like an industry insider. Got to thank our sponsors, FXR.
That's a terrible time to freeze.
He froze.
Say that.
Did I freeze?
You froze
at
mid-sponsor thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out
you froze at
FXR.
FXR.
The sponsors are below. Shout out to FXR and Flow Vision. You don't see the
Sponsors.
We're streaming. These things are going to happen. Shout out to you guys. We really appreciate all the guests we have on. This has been super fun, and we're going to do it again next week. Trivia for this week. If you guys have gotten to this far, if you can name me how many titles in Arena Cross that Tyler Bowers has, DM me, send me an email. I'll put it in the chat. The first person that sent it to me, email, Instagram, chat, Moto Academy app, whatever, wins a FXR prize pack. Hopefully Tyler knows how many titles he's won. It's too many to count. So yeah. At this point. Thank you guys. Really appreciate all of you being on here. It's been super fun. We'll definitely do it again.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you, gang.
See you guys.